hold up. Peace and Black Power family. I had it on mute, Unc. I ain't even let the people know. Peace and Black Power family. You already know what it is. We are live. And I'm here this morning to tell Unc to stop the tomfoolery. That's Unc word. I got that from Unc. The tomfoolery. So I'm here to let you know, Unc, when you say the literal sun is a netter, you don't know what you're talking about. The sun is not a netter, brother. So where you get that nonsense from?
All right, let me shape the conversation, right? So the title was the title debate itself. It didn't give you a do the people today, as they look at Egyptian history, think that the gods was literal, right? Or the netter was literal. It simply said, are the netter literal? And both brothers took two separate positions. I kind of understood that from the beginning. So from Jabari's perspective, he's looking at it from a modern lens, right? African-American style. I said it's new age, right? And so they interpret the letter as being quote unquote like storytelling or metaphors or mythology, right? And so Jabari is well within his right to do that. Reggie took the traditional African lens where these people that lived in that particular area during that time, right? They had a myriad of beliefs and they both fought from both sides. That's why the damn thing was so good, because it's hard to say that this person was wrong, that person was right. And sometimes they use the same source. That's why I felt like it was a great competition. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I said I'm off. I thought it was a tie, right? And I gave Reggie an extra point for where Brother Lau came in at the end of the questioning and kind of stumbled Jabari a little bit. So that's why I kind of shaded.
What was the question, What was the question Brother Lau asked, if you remember?
I can't quite. It was a good one though. It kind of got him stuck for a minute. I was like, oh, that was a good one. I can't quite remember, yo. With so much going on, I don't remember that question, bro. But I also gave Reggie a point, right? When Jabari,
of course,
misunderstood Reggie's source. No, he misunderstood Reggie's source. But watch this. Reggie brought one of the greatest sources ever in that particular conversation, yo. It was Manethos, right? And Reggie, as an author, he writes papers. So let the audience know that as a writer, you can write your ideas, right? And then you have to source your ideas. So Reggie wrote about Manethos, right? And another Egyptian priest, right? And he sourced it.
So did Manethos?
Jabari didn't see the source. Let me finish. Jabari didn't. Let me finish. Jabari thought that Reggie didn't show the source, right? But when we went back yesterday, he actually did show the source. So Jabari's rebuttal was wrong because the source was right there on the paper that he was saying wasn't the source. So I got to gig you for that. So yes, Manethos is an Egyptian priest on that time, right? He writes the histories of Egypt, and he says that the gods are literal.
Where he said that?
Says it goes from literal.
Where he said that?
In the writings. Yep, in the Diptycha.
Did Manethos
in the Diptycha. He said that the netters are real beings who belong to Egypt.
Being real,
being literal. Yeah.
Manethos. Did Manethos ever
ask that question?
Being literal. The netters.
All right, go ahead, play it. Watch.
Oh, hold on, man.
Manethos, Manetho.
Damn. All right, am I doing this out? It's out.
Yeah, he did. He said they start. Look, real beings, right? Who in the earliest times, right, in the earliest past, right? Yeah. Basically says that the gods.
Come on in the room. That's why they ain't answering, because you're on the phone. Come in. Can you come in for a minute?
Oh, you talking about me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can slide. All
right, come on in. Did Manethos ever say or ever write about the metal netter and the netters being literal? Let me see this.
Manetho wrote in Greek and did not use the original Egyptian term netcher, NTR. Instead, he translated the concept using the Greek word theoi, gods. While his history, Egyptiaca, explicitly listed the ancient gods as literal historical kings who ruled Egypt for thousands of years before human pharaohs, his original stance on their physical nature is lost. We only know his work through fragments and summaries by later Roman and Christian chroniclers, who struggled to reconcile his massive divine timelines and often interpreted them metaphorically or adjusted the numbers.
Okay. All right. And I want to just say this too, man. A lot of y'all keep saying that I side with Jabari. When you look at Reggie and everybody else like Yara, anybody who goes up against Jabari, they all side with the person that's going up against Jabari. Now, y'all can be in denial all you want. You are way more biased than Brother sa.neter. All of you. All of you. Y'all are way more biased than sa.neter. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact. What's up, Ashe?
Yeah. What's up? What's going on, sir?
Hey, I wanted to know. I was asking Unc earlier, Brother La, peace to you, brother. I was asking Brother Unc earlier, what was the question that you asked Jabari? If you remember, I was asking Unc if you remember. But go ahead, Ashe.
Yeah, Manito was an Egyptian, not a Cometian. Yeah, he's there after that shift. That's why when you even asked the AI, it was talking about how he wrote in the Greek.
Right.
So he wasn't even dealing with the term neter. He didn't deal with it. He had a European ideology far as the neter. And he went as far as to write a King's List as well, where he got the neters as like real beings, but where he's at in history, and this is just respect to everybody, I don't think he was relevant to the debate. I don't think that you wouldn't add Philadelphia's Ptolemy as a source just because he ruled in Egypt, would you?
Maneto's you was talking about?
Yeah, Manito. Yeah, Manito. Yeah, Manito is writing in the Greek. He's an Egyptian. He's not a Cometian.
Okay. I'm gonna go see Infidisi myself, and we're gonna clear this whole thing up because we got to clear this up, man. We got to clear this thing up.
You got the video already on your channel when it was me, Humble Mystic, and you. And we literally asked him, and I must admit, he took the Jabari route.
Of course. I don't know why Jabari didn't use that one right there. He should have used that one. Yeah,
that mug, he said it plain as day. But I think that, and this is where I think that the break off be happening all the time, is because Infodisi is quick to say, just like Jabari, there's no Birdman walking around. There's no man with the thing on, like that's not real.
So let me ask you, I say, do you really believe that the Neteru were literal, brother? Not that the people believed it, because the people
no the Neters, all the Neteru are not. All of them are not, but so some of them are.
Which ones are?
The Nasut B, he's a Neter. He is a Neter. We went back and forth on the office.
Say that again. Which one is literal?
The Pharaoh, or the Nasubidi. He is a neter. He is the operating neter on the earth. He is. He's operating neter on the earth. Well, we went back and forth, even though Jabari would disagree, but I'm still standing with the opposite is a neter. There's no source that you could go into. Even when you go into the TLA, we see the opposite as a neter. And remember, I sent you that one joint, and they were talking very literal regarding the Apis bull. It was extremely vulgar, but that was a literal statement. You know what I mean? Because you ain't making love to nothing that ain't actually there. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, Jabari, I don't know why, and that's a good point Ashe brought up. I don't know why you didn't use the source that Infodisi. Remember when y'all came on my channel? The last time y'all came on my channel? And I think, was Jabari there, Ashe?
No, we called Jabari later that day. He wasn't there in the beginning.
But I interviewed Infodisi like maybe about 2 months ago. Was it like 2 or 3?
Right.
Yeah, and they asked him specifically, where's the neters literal? And he took your position. on that. Ashe asked him person face to face on the channel.
Right.
That's the one you should have used. You know?
Well, no, the one that I used was I also asked him very clearly. Now I know that folks that haven't seen the debate haven't seen what I actually played. I spoke to Mfundishi myself, and I could play it here. But
no, don't play it here because I'm gonna review the video. I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying I could play that clip of what we discussed. So definitely that's something I could do. Mfundishi is saying the same thing that I am saying. I think that one of the things that our dear brother Reggie does is he tries to say that literal means that something existed, right? And he even calls the sa.neter the language of existence. There's no other scholar that does that. There's no, everyone translates that as divine words, right? So, you know, that's really the important part of this. But I also want to even refer to, here's a slide that I did not use in the debate. And it relates to something that I just heard Ashe say about the Apis bull being a deity. There, once again, there's no scholar that agrees with that. And all of the sources that they read, this is something that Ashe, I don't know if you read. What? Everybody went off camera? What's going on? It's just me? One of the things.
Hey, I'll be doing my thing at the crib, but I'm here. I'm definitely here.
It's okay. I was talking to you, so I was like, is he gone? What's going on?
No, I'm
Peace
here,
to
bro.
all of you. One of the things that I think that's interesting is that when you actually look at the sources for the Apis bull, virtually all of them are very late, right? These are not sources that Reggie in any other context, most scholars in that actually have access to HOK would accept, because many of them come during the Ptolemaic period. I mean, but you have to know the history to know what they're referring to. I even asked Reggie, what period is that from when you're talking about the ruler Amamesis? And he even said, oh, this mixed Persian people and everything. So, but here's a slide that I did not use in the debate. I was ready for the Apis bull stuff. I just didn't have to use it. Here's a slide that I didn't use in the debate. And this just refers to what Ashe said, right? Okay, divine animals. The Apis or Hapiank bull is the bull and netter. This comes from Stephen Quirk, okay? A stronger case for animal worship might be seen in the selection of a specially marked animal to stand as representative of a deity on earth, to be housed and fed, to be given a lavish burial. The Menevis bull of Ra at Iunu, the Apis bull of Ptah at Memphis, and the Bukis bull of Mont at Aramont are the three most famous cases of such sacred animals. It is true that these animals were given lives of luxury, were provided with food offerings, and that ceremonies were performed at their accessions and funerals, yet they were not divine in themselves as animals, but rather they fulfilled the function of making a deity tangible on earth, heralds that could be nourished and served in indirect service of the principal deity, whether Ra, Ptah, or Mont. This is what scholars are saying. That's just one source. Here goes a piece from Livius.org, right, on the Apis bull. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can read it. The animal was venerated in Memphis, where a special shrine was built. It sometimes serves as an oracle. I'm going to skip down past that little quote there. The Apis was considered to be a manifestation of the Memphite creation god, Ptah. It was the soul, Ba of Ptah, and the herald. Remember I mentioned Wehem to you?
Yes.
You've forgotten that, Brother Ankh.
The Wehem.
I'm not sorry, Ankh. Brother Ashe. The Wehem of Ptah. The bull was therefore a kind of servant who was himself divine. Sometimes the animal was shown in the populace during this procession. Its walk was considered to be a blessing of the country. So the bull is not Ptah. The bull is the herald of Ptah. And I want to be clear that when you look at what the scholars are saying about this, I did a literature review. That's what you do when you're making an argument, right? Here we go, Apis and the Serapeum by Muhammad Ibrahim and David Roll. By the way, all of these are written by people who are Egyptologists, right? Because I know that somebody's going to say, sometimes in the chat, they say, Jabari, you're not an expert. You don't have a degree in Egyptology. I don't. I have a degree in Africana Studies. That's fine. Last I checked, Egypt was in, Kemet was in Africa. But as you look at this, these are the people that those people are referring to. They don't say what is being said. And to pretend that the Apis bull is a deity itself, that's a little odd, right? Is it connected to a deity? Yes. But one of the reasons why the Kemetic people did this, I think if you read all the sources, is that it allows them to in some ways use this animal as a placeholder, so that they could actually provide offerings, have provide prayer, all of those things to Ptah while the bull is there. But you have to keep in mind that the bull always dies and they have to select a new one. Are you saying that the people believe that Ptah died?
But
so
it's not an idea. My bad, I'm cutting you off. I thought that was a real question.
I think that when you look at it, it should be pretty clear what is being said here. Here's a zoom in for part of it. That's what's in this article. The worship of sacred animals in ancient Egypt as manifestations of the gods played a major part in the everyday religious life of all the social classes, from the king himself right down to the common people. With the gradual evolution of a complex myth of webs and legends associated of Egypt, would be assimilated to the numerous aspects of principal deities. One of the most famous of these associations was that of the Apis bull, with the creator god Ptah, chief deity of Memphis. At death, this sacred animal appears to have been transformed into the physical embodiment of the god of the underworld, Osiris. Most of the surviving material pertaining to the Apis cult comes from the late period and Ptolemaic dynasties. And it is from this era that contemporary documents, such as the Demotic Papyrus of Vienna, detail the burial rites of the sacred bull. Apis was especially popular in the last centuries of the first millennium BC, when the Hellenistic Greeks and subsequently the Romans adopted the bull cult as their own. See, this is what I'm trying to say when you're actually looking at the language. If you are going to tell the story of Kemet, you can't just read the language. You have to know the history. So you look at the TLA and you see some things written. Does that tell you who wrote it, when, and how it was being utilized? No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
So it does not. It does not, or else you would be explaining it here. Here we go, embodiment. The embodiment of something gives concrete form to an abstract idea. So when they say that the Hapi bull is the embodiment of Ptah in this instance, understand what they're saying with the word embodiment. Here's the definition from vocabulary.com. The embodiment of something gives concrete form to an abstract idea. So in this instance, they're saying that Ptah is an abstract idea. You have to understand what you are looking at. Okay, I'll stop there.
Hey, Jabari, what was the name of that yellow book you had, brother?
Which yellow book?
Brother Lai said, I forgot to get the name of the yellow book Jabari had. Can you please ask?
I brought like 15 books.
Because you showed one of them. Which it was yellow, but you had to show it because he's seen it.
I'll look and see while we're on. I'll look and see if I can find it. But
okay,
and I'll bring a few yellow ones so that you can see if that's what I was referring to. But one of the reasons why I brought, but let me say this: one of the reasons why I brought the sources is that I wanted you all to be able to see where the sources came from. You could even come up afterwards and looked at it, right? I gave you the book, the page number, all of that. One of the things that Reggie continued to do in the debate, and I'm going to continue to say, he had no sources. one of the things that he would do is he would say something, and then he would put a year and the author, right? Now, when people do that in a scholarly text, what happens is in the end note, they explain why they put that there. There were no end notes in what he wrote.
Hey, Jabari,
you have to. Let me finish. Essentially, let me finish. I'm coming. I'm gonna stop. One of the things that you have to do is you have to trust him that the source says what it says. What I do in a debate is I actually show you what the author said. I don't give my opinion and say this person agrees with me. You have to see the source to see whether they agree. And yesterday, when he said that Mario Beatty agreed with him and he played the video, Mario Beatty ain't say what he said. So that's I think that's poor scholarship on this instance.
Hey, Jabari, Unc said Reggie created his own sauce. That's what Unc said.
See, when I jump in,
no, you ain't say that. Oh, you ain't say that.
Nah, man, Jabari, no, I never said nothing like that. That's
man, you ain't say in writing because Reggie's a good writer. In writing, he created his own sauce. You ain't say that.
Nope.
Oh wow, bro. Oh man. I don't believe you saying that down to me.
Yeah, hey, sa.neter, I don't know. I know you're trying to rouse up the crowd. But in reality, a writer, and Jabari wrote a book.
Did anybody hear Unc say those words that I'm saying?
I'm gonna come back.
Yeah. Suntan even said he heard you.
But I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back when y'all willing. Just let me speak while you speak on my name.
Yeah, speak now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm simply saying, Jabari wrote a book. There's certain ways you can source your book. You can your information. You can source it by putting the page number in the book, or you can just write the source and the name and the date. That's proper. You don't gotta go do something else. That's how you could do it. So Reggie did it that style. He could do that. It's up to the person reading the text to go find the author, right, and the time period he wrote it and look it up. So Reggie had plenty of sources, bro. So I don't know why we're sitting here saying that. See the but. See, you just butt me in the middle of my talking. But go ahead, Jabari. I want you to get it all out.
But stopped you. You paused and I said but, and then when you kept talking, I stopped.
No. Jabari, I want you to shine right now, bro. So I'm shutting up. Because you act like I wasn't fair yesterday, and I don't appreciate that. But go ahead, Jabari. I want to hear everything you're saying. Because you don't like the fact you got punched in your mouth in the first round. You don't like that. Thought you was unhittable. But go ahead, Jabari.
Stop.
It's about you today. It's about you today, brother.
I really want to say the reason why I said you weren't fair is because essentially what has happened, and I'm going to take issue with my brother sa.neter on this too, is that you and Reggie have access to this platform and you come on constantly. And while you may be a little bit fairer, Unc, I'll be fair. I'll be honest and say, when I look at what you do, you're a little fairer. You're biased, but a little fairer. When Reggie comes on here, there's no fairness whatsoever. And in fact, for me to come on and for you to be the moderator and for him to mute me when I'm speaking, that says that something really wrong is happening. And I would have wanted you to say, Reggie, that's not your role right now. Please don't do that. So that was the deal. Am I taking major issue with you, Unc? No. I just think that.
Jabari, I said that to Unc this morning. I said that to him. I told him.
Well, all I can say is I'm going to replay the video. I said, Jabari, I'm not meeting you out. That's not right. I would never do you like that, bro, because I don't want to hear your mouth. So I would never do that, bro. In matter of fact, that's wild behavior. So I don't understand why he did that.
But here's the deal. But here's the real. When you said that, you didn't know what had happened. I'm trying to be fair to you. You didn't know what had happened. When I explained it, you should have said, he did what?
I did. I did. I said, Reggie, why? I did.
Not when I was there, I didn't hear that.
Reggie, no, I did. Yeah, why would you do that, Reggie? That's my point. Like, I don't understand.
Reggie wasn't paying Unc no attention.
Right.
So that is a problem. It's an inherent problem. It's an inherent problem.
But listen, Jabari, I agree. Hold on. I agree with you, Jabari. I felt like, first of all, you mischaracterized us going live. We always go live after the debate. You should have showed up. The second one, I didn't go live. sa.neter went live. So I'm just simply making a point here, bro. Like when you came on here, I felt like I said it. I said Jabari needs to be able to say what he needs to say because we went live twice, so he needs to talk more than everybody else. I said that.
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah,
Right.
And that's the reason you did say that. I'm trying to be honest about what I heard and about what you said.
I appreciate that.
That's why
I get how you feeling, Jabari. I get it, but guess what, Jabari? I felt like Reggie did a great job and you did a great job. So you talking as much as you want to talk didn't affect it. Reggie might think it do.
And when y'all done, I would just like
let me say this. I think that anyone who's watching knows that you have a bias. There's nothing wrong with the bias.
I know I got a bias. Like you got a bias against people who don't believe, right?
But listen, okay. Hold on. What I'm saying is that when you have a bias and you are someone that just goes live when you want, and Reggie has not even just a bias, but something that I would almost call he despises me. That's different. That's different. You and I, if you were in New York and you were in the area, I'd say, hey, let's go to dinner. That's different. I'm calling you out on a bias, but you try at least to be fair. Reggie is doing something quite different. So when both of you are going live, I'm not just talking about yesterday. I'm talking about even in the lead up to the debate. There's an imbalance that's occurring.
Yeah, all of y'all have been unfair. All of y'all.
No, hold on, sa.neter. Hey, Jabari, I don't got to be fair to neither one of y'all because I don't believe none of that stuff y'all talking about. So get that straight.
Still got to be fair.
I don't. Listen. Hey, Jabari, listen.
You got to be
fair. Where do you think I'm being biased at? Now watch what you say. What? Yeah, because you know I don't agree with Reggie. I just fought 3. Hold on. I just fought 3 months with Reggie. Reggie is pseudo as hell when it comes to science. So I don't know which, and I went hard at him than I ever went at you, bro. So you need to get all that straight. So where my bias against you, Jabari? Man, everybody know it.
He did it, Jabari.
I mean, hard, bro.
Let me say this.
Beat up his degree. I did all that, bro.
When I came
on and everything.
Made him a clown face. Made a whole song about him, bro. I've never done you like that.
But listen to this.
Don't say but listen. You said I didn't do it. I made a whole song about him, bro.
Brother, I'm trying to explain your bias. I'm trying to explain where you're biased. So, for example, when I was explaining the challenges that we've had with representing Rickettsia men, right? You came on and said, this is what Rickettsia men said. I don't know why you're doing that. And I asked you a simple question. Were you on the phone when Rickettsia men said that to Reggie? You said no. So obviously, you believe what he said. You've taken it hook, line, and sinker. That's the bias. You didn't hear what you said. Only people, and you were actually talking about my conversation with Rickettsia men. You weren't on the phone with me and Rickettsia men. All you're doing is listening to what Reggie said, and you're assuming that is correct. That's a bias, right?
Fine. So, Jabari, do you realize you showed the text messages? They said what I said. Did you realize that, though?
The text message did not say what you said.
It did. Not verbatim, but it expressed that she didn't want to come in between y'all two and don't play her thing. Don't play her words. Don't do it. I essentially said that.
We'll go back and listen to what you said. Because you said a lot more than that.
I did. What I said was you mischaracterized it.
And you only got it from Reggie. You didn't get it from her.
Right. But I heard your side of it.
From me.
Did I say I did? I agree with you. So, Jabari, hold on, Sa. The only issue I really have with you, Jabari, is you don't allow to have a regular conversation, yo. It's always you got to keep going in a regular conversation. That's my only issue with you, bro.
What does that mean?
That means as human beings, we should be able to have a discourse like yesterday with Chuck and them. They actually had a great discourse. You never allow that. It's like you always trying to prove something for no reason. I thought you did a great job in the debate. I told the whole world, I said, that's when I realized you was an actual champion. You ignored all that, bro. You ignored I said all that and got mad because I said Reggie had a good round and a half. That's crazy to me. That is crazy. That's my opinion.
I did not get mad. I just disagreed. I didn't get mad.
Yeah, so you disagreeing that I called you a champion for the first time?
No, I'm disagreeing.
So then why didn't you say ain't being biased?
Come on, man. That's enough.
This is what I disagreed with. I disagreed when you said yeah, he got you on the canvas in the first one and you had to get back up. I simply said, I don't agree with that. That's what I wasn't angry.
Okay,
I just simply said I disagreed. I can't disagree with you now.
All right. Come on, we're gonna get back to this.
I mean, what's going on?
Yo, hold on.
Hey, sa.neter, why did you call me in the first place, though? Because I had a source, and you playing with me, so I'm ready to go. I don't got time to do it.
Go your source. Get your source.
All right, point blank here. We ain't gotta razzle dazzle the crowd. We don't gotta do none of that. I'm simply trying to tell the people that the debate topic went 2 different ways, which was actually okay. Jabari took the stance of, do we actually believe that the netter are literal? The people today, basically, right? Reggie went in business way.
That's incorrect. That's incorrect.
So go ahead, tell me, sa.neter, watch. In the middle, you telling me incorrect. Go ahead.
All right. His stance was the netters were not literal. You said he took the stand that we say that the netters are, no, that's not the topic. Are the netters literal? Jabari took the stance that the netters was not literal. Reggie took the stand that the netters were literal. That's what it is.
Okay, but Reggie took the stance. See, I never got the source out.
Go ahead, huh?
I can do my own show. I'm
when
fine.
You start talking.
Let's go, Uncle.
Man, it's called speeding a person up, bro. You heard me talking to sa.neter and sa.neter dove in on me trying to give a source. Then you supposed to have decorum and just let me do it.
Man. Just
I'm not getting like now. All right, I'm out. Now I can do this by myself. I'm good. I'm straight. Go ahead, y'all. Have your day, Jabari.
Go ahead.
The reality is that what I'm saying to you, I believe that Ankh is biased, but he at least tries to be balanced. I'm gonna say it again. He tries. I don't think he does a great job at it, but he tries.
Bias against who? I don't trust none of y'all with scientific literacy and historical accuracy. So what do you mean, bro?
But the challenge is now. See,
you gotta stop saying.
You get upset when you're
Jabari, you're gonna have to stop saying.
You get upset.
No, I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
You're getting like a apostle, bro.
I'm not upset, man.
Let me take the word upset back. You take issue when you are talking and I say but and stop because I realize you're still talking. And then when I'm talking, you just put in a whole paragraph and that's supposed to be okay.
So you didn't hear sa.neter tell me to go, bro. You didn't even hear him say it.
But you stopped. You said, I'm gonna stop.
Because I don't want to talk over each other. I'm trying to be cordial,
I don't want to either. I don't want to either.
Did you hear sa.neter say, go ahead, Unc, and you proceeded to talk? Stop it. Come on, man.
All right, be quiet. Everybody be quiet. You got the floor. Go ahead.
Right. There's a source that Reggie brought in the first round that Jabari screenshotted and act like it wasn't source. It was Manethos. And I said that right, Jabari, just for you. He used that source. Right? And based on surviving quotations, the Egyptian priest actually wrote the history, and he said it started off with the gods reigning, real, actual gods. And then he said divine beings, real, actual divine beings, right? Spiritual beings. Then he goes to the humans ruling. He actually believed that. He wrote the history and said that, and that's all Reggie brought. I don't know what's the issue with that. You said he didn't source it. He actually did. He did that. He used the Egyptian priest. You know about it. I know about it. So if Reggie only brought that one source, he proved that in that particular time period in the histories, right, that this Egyptian priest, not Unc, not Jabari, not sa.neter TV, not the community of skeptics, actually believe that these gods ruled the earth. Point blank. Humans believe that volcanoes is gods at time periods. So I just want to know, why is it that y'all keep playing with Egyptian history? Y'all playing with it like it's y'all, man. The Egyptians don't have a special potion that would stop them from believing, just like the Christians, that gods can be literal at times. So that's all I gotta say, bro. And you can fight over that source and act like that's not a real source, and that's what it is. Everybody in the chat, look that up.
So I'm gonna show you. I'll show you what I screenshot. I'll do that. How about I do that?
Yeah, and how about I show you the source on your screenshot?
No, I have the source too. I teach from Manetho.
No, I'm saying that the source that Reggie brought is on the quote unquote page that you screenshot. You just missed it, Jabari. That's all I was saying. You just missed it.
No, No, let me show you. Let me show you what my issue is. First of all, before I even show it to you, let me just articulate this.
Why not just show it?
You gotta be quiet.
I gotta download it, brother. I'm just sending it to myself. It takes a moment to do that because I thought I had it in the folder. I don't see it in the folder, so I just sent it from my camera, and I'll show it to you. I will. One of the things that I want to say is he's making the argument that Tahuti makes, and if Reggie really believes that, I wish I had that quote. I'm going to show it to you later. I'm going to show you Reggie saying that the first king of Kemet was who? Namer. So if Reggie believes that the first king of Kemet was Namer, then he cannot also believe that those divine characters ruled before Namer.
It's a fact.
Those two things don't work together. That's like me saying that George Washington is the first president of the United States, but there were 100 people before him. You would say, wait a minute, you are not being clear. I believe that there is every scholar, and I can do this very easily, every scholar will agree that he is speaking in allegory. Who in the world would argue that, let me put it up on the screen, that the first kings of Kemet were divine characters? Who would really argue that?
Right.
The other part that I want you to hear very clearly is that Manetho is writing when? During the Greek period. I have seen Reggie on sa.neter's channel 3,000 times say that he doesn't want anyone to use any sources from that period as a point in an argument. And I know you've seen it too, Ankh. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden, it's okay for him to use it, but he's beat everybody up over the course of nearly 20 years who did the same thing. So there are major problems with what he did. And now, let me say to you, the only thing, let me show you what he's saying here. I'm going to show it to you right here. I have the screenshot now. And I know that all of you will be able to find very easily where Reggie actually disagrees with what he said. That's the other thing that y'all aren't acknowledging, that we know now that Reggie doesn't agree with what he said. I'm going to show that here because some of you were not at the debate didn't see it. Okay, so this is the source, right?
No, right there. No, right there. Waddle, 1940.
Now you see how you just did that?
I'm showing you the source.
If I say but and stop, you go, oh, you're going to interrupt me.
No, Jabari. Jabari, the source is right there.
Right?
Jabari,
but you can say sentences.
Jabari, go ahead,
That doesn't make sense, brother. That doesn't make sense. And then when you're interrupting me, you say, why can't we have a conversation? But then when I say but and then stop because I realize you're still speaking, now that's an interruption.
Wait, Jabari, you just went 3 minutes straight.
Yo,
you just went 3 minutes straight, though, bro.
Come on, brother. You gotta stop.
I'm one of the people that was in the debate, Ankh. I'm supposed to have more time. I have not had a chance to talk about what happened in the debate. You know that.
Go ahead, Jabari. Go ahead, Jabari.
So I'm going to tell you something really honestly. This is the best source that Reggie uses. In many other places in the debate, he will make an argument and simply put the name and the year, and he doesn't show anything that person wrote. This is the best one that he does. And I still take issue with it. So look at what he wrote. He says, Manetho, a high Egyptian, a high priest, writing in Greek for a Hellenistic audience, by the way. He said, he puts it up here. He would never let anyone else do that. You know this. Composed the Egyptiaca using temple records, although preserved through later epitomes, blah, 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 blah. And then he writes from Waddell, 1940. 1940. Right? Waddell, it's on my phone. Waddell is actually the person that translates the Egyptiaca into English. That's what he's referring to, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So he shows you the Greek, and then he shows you this. The first man or god in Egypt is Haptiasus, Ptah. These were the first to hold sway in Egypt. Thereafter, kinship passed from one another in succession. This is the best one that he gave. None of the other sources he gave were like this. Not a one.
Problem.
And I'm going to say to you, my issue here. Now, wait, before I even say that, let's read this one. After the gods, demigods reigned for 1,255 years. Then followed the rule of spirits of the dead and demigods for 5,813 years. Are you telling me that Reggie is arguing that the history of Kemet's rulers goes back 10,000 years? Is that the argument he's making? Because if he believes that, then he cannot then say that Narmer is the first ruler. That was the point I was making. It is very clear. Don't make me pull a video of him saying that Narmer is the first ruler. Please don't make me do that. You know that that's what he's argued for years. For years. So is he contradicting himself? Very clearly, Manetho is speaking figuratively. There is no scholar that actually has drawn breath or continues to draw breath that argues that this is literal. None. None. And that still doesn't even deal with the fact that it comes from the Ptolemaic period, not something that Reggie has allowed in any other conversation or debate. I have seen him rule out the Ptolemaic period, right? He doesn't even answer it. He's like, oh, that's very late. That's the Ptolemaic period, so you can't use it. Now he's using it. Don't make me pull that quote. And I want to say to you, this is the best quote that he uses. Now, folks, when you see the debate itself, you'll be able to actually look at what he put on the screen. And you're going to see that very often, just like the Mario Beatty quote, he makes a comment and then he says, Mario Beatty agrees. He gives no quote for Mario Beatty. None. He does that with many people in the debate. That's why I'm saying he doesn't have a source. You can't, and he doesn't even give us a page number. You can't just simply put the person's name and then the page number. And I want to say to you very clearly, I write scholarly. That's not how this is done. That's not how this is done. When you do that, then there's an end note that explains why you said that person said that. There's no end note here. And in a debate, what you really should see is something like this. Let me show you the difference.
So you're not going to let me address that, though?
No, you can't.
I'll talk to y'all later. No problem.
Right.
Hey, good job, Jabari, in the debate, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, sa.neter.
Brother, you don't.
Appreciate you. I gotta go. No problem.
Before you leave, Ankh, let me say this to you. I've said you're biased. I don't agree with everything you did, but please hear I'm saying I think you're trying to be fair. You did try.
Thank you.
You did.
Thank you, bro.
I don't want you to hear just the critique, right? I'm critiquing you, sure, but not just the critique, because I don't want it to make it seem like I'm just trying to beat Anka. Because I'm
the reason why I said no to my brother Unk is because they had a whole goddamn war going on yesterday, and they didn't allow Jabari to get his point across.
Right. I agree, brother. I agree. No problem.
Yeah, that's a fact.
No problem.
That is a fact.
Actually, what I mean when I say he's not showing sources.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we just said no. Why'd you go past that? The source was on the page, Jabari. See what I'm saying? But let me go.
Yeah, that's a poor citing. It's
okay. Now they changed it as a poor citing. What are y'all doing, man?
I showed both. I showed both of them.
No, he showed the source on the page, yo.
But what I'm trying to say. Wait, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to it. First of all, I said that's the best source he gave all night.
No, but you said it wasn't source.
That's why I took a picture of it.
Okay, no problem, brother. I'm gonna let you have your day. So that is right. Nope, I'm gone.
Listen. So let me show you what I mean. Right?
Go ahead,
when
brother.
I'm saying that Vojana Mosjov agrees with my position, I actually write what she wrote and the page. Here's the book. So that you can say, wait a minute, I don't think that scholar agrees with you. Or, yes, that's a good source. And that's what I do throughout the entire debate. Here goes E.A. Wallace Budge. Can you see I wrote exactly what he said and the page?
Yes.
This is not, I'm not writing a scholarly piece, but even if I was writing a scholarly piece, there would be an endnote. He had no endnote in what he did. He knows that. He couldn't have submitted that to the journal that he wrote for, that he submitted an article for. They would have refused it. So we have to stop acting like what he did is the appropriate way to cite. It was not. And when you all see the debate, because some of you just kept waiting and waiting and waiting and didn't get to see the debate, you'll see what I'm referring to, right? The rest of you that were there should be able to see that. And I see someone typed in the chat, but it was a source though. I'm saying that he did not properly source it. The only one that he properly sourced or even partially sourced, I don't even think it's proper, is the one he did on Manetho. And that's not something he agrees with. That's not something he agrees with. Nobody believes that. He doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe that. Look at the source on Eric Hornung. This is Eric Hornung. Eric Hornung is considered one of the most appropriate, one of the most recognized and respected Egyptologists out of Germany, right? His book was translated by John Baines. Look at how this is a source. And you have the page. That's a source. Because what you should be able to do as the viewer is agree or disagree with me. By the way, the worst source was when he sourced Obenga. That was the worst one. He makes a comment and then he just says Obenga. He doesn't show you what Obenga says. And I gave you, look at this. This is my piece on Obenga, right?
Nah, Jabari, don't show too much. Don't show nothing.
Yeah, you got to take it off the screen, yo.
I had so much more.
No, don't show nothing. Because I told you I'm getting ready to show it again. Don't show nobody nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to fight y'all yesterday on that. Don't show that. They got to pay for that.
Check your text. Check your text, Jabari. Check your text right quick.
Okay. I just want you to recognize that that what you're doing is this is not the way to actually show information in this community, because you want people to actually read the sources. I actually came with a suitcase with all of the books so that if people wanted to see them, they could. You know that people afterwards took pictures of the books. I want you to be able to do your own work. But if I just give you a name and a year, then that is supposed to have other citations. He didn't have those in his piece.
Okay, all right, I'm gone, Jabari. Appreciate you, brother. I'm saying you shouldn't have put that out. I'm going to gig you on that because, I understand about all the sources, baby. I got you. But go ahead, enjoy yourself. Good job in the debate. Good job in the debate.
Thank you.
I appreciate the support.
Which one did you disagree with me putting out? You talking about the one with my slides?
No, the AP, you don't have to have footnotes, bro. I know. I write. I'm in the journal. I'm published. I know how it's supposed to go. So I ain't fighting with you. And the person don't got to believe the source they showing you. You should not frame it that way. I do not have to believe that. You can do that. It's AP sources. You don't on AP citations. You just don't, Jabari. Come on, man.
Okay.
This is basic stuff we supposed to know. But I get your point, though. You're saying in the debate, you want people to make it easy for them. I got you, bro. That's not wrong just for you to say that. Yeah, you want to make it easy so they can get to it. AP is a little bit hard to get to it. I get it. No problem, bro. What I'm telling you is I don't got to believe that people believe that volcanoes was God for me to cite the fact that they believed it was God's. I can't believe you keep saying that, but I got you. Enjoy yourself. Appreciate everybody. The support been great this week. Been real great. Okay. I appreciate that. And once again, Jabari, that was one of the best debates since the time of SETI them, bro. It just was, yo. Good job, bro. You showed me something in that ring. You showed me you was a champion, and I appreciate you, bro. Everybody, appreciate y'all. I'm out, man.
Thank you. Peace.
Absolutely.
Hey, while we got brother Reggie here, can I ask him to read something for me real quick while he's here?
Nah, brother.
Reggie, break out the cigar. Don't feed into it, brother. Enjoy your day.
Why don't you stay? Why don't you stay instead of running?
wait, why can't I, when you ask me a question and Jabari showed 3 sources to the question you asked me, but I don't say nothing back, I can't even show why I have my stance? That's crazy. But they get to bicker for the last 30 minutes? I can't show from the language why I can't do that?
I think the fundamental
I can't do that?
Not if you can't read the language.
Can you read the language?
I got the translation. I got the translation.
Yeah, I can.
On the screen.
It's Jabari time, man. Let Jabari have his time, yo.
There's a fundamental challenge here. I have not been able to speak about the debate.
Right.
That's what the issue is.
No,
I've not been able to speak about it. Yesterday, when I came in, I was muted by my opponent. Literally hit the mute button on me.
Well, you're such a liar.
So that yeah, I'm a liar. I'm a liar.
I muted you because you was arguing something without the information.
Then you just say that you
liar.
Listen, he says I'm lying about him muting me, and then in the next sentence he says he did mute me. What is happening?
No, I'm saying that you are a liar.
What am I lying about, Reggie? What am I lying about?
I asked Suntan to put up the definition, whether symbols can be literal. You thought it was my source. Then you started going on and on again about how that you shouldn't use AI. Now we shouldn't use AI, and how we should use it. But I was trying to stop you and tell you it was not my source. I asked him to put it up there. I don't mind your response about it.
Did you mute me?
What I did mind was you thought that it was solely me.
Did you mute me?
I tried to stop you. Yes, I muted you to let you know that you was running your mouth about something that was wrong.
So
and you are always spinning it.
Reggie,
so you knew the context yesterday, and you are such a liar. Wait,
Reggie,
I want to ask sa.neter a question. Hey,
Reggie,
sa.neter,
you should not be able to listen. If both of us are talking about the debate, and Ankh is the moderator, you should not be able to mute me, and that's very clear.
I only muted you to stop
you. Listen, you muted me.
That means it was only for a second.
That means
it was only for a second.
You are not utilizing your role as a person as the opponent in a debate. You have usurped Ankh's role as the moderator. That's what you're doing.
Hey, sa.neter.
And that's what you're doing. And everyone knows.
Jabari, can I ask
everyone knows. I'm not finished yet. And everyone knows that I'm not crying. I'm simply explaining what happened. The person that crashes out is you. I'm simply explaining why I left.
You won't because
I was not able to describe my position.
Okay,
when you finally did,
May I have permission to ask sa.neter one question?
I'm not finished yet.
Okay, he doesn't want to give me permission.
No, we're on for like 5 hours.
Muted.
Yeah, okay, right. Well,
because
the reality is
he asked you, please, and you still won't stop.
The reality is this. You spoke for 5 hours yesterday. 5 hours.
I didn't speak for 5 hours. You're a liar.
Let's be clear that essentially what happened is I saw you use the source. I didn't see where it came from.
Now so when you clarified, because you're a liar.
When you clarified that it was Suntan's source, I said, okay, but if you are going to then use it, and you were, then what you have to say is, this isn't a great source for this conversation. Because what ends up happening is, the reality is that AI is culling information from all over the internet. And sometimes it gets it wrong. You have to follow through the link that it's giving you in order for you to be able to make sense of what you are seeing. And that was the point I was making. That when you were the one that was agreeing with what was on the screen, yes, sometimes the gods are literal. You agreed with it and you said you used it. I didn't see you say put it up. Okay. But I'm willing to accept that Suntan was the one that introduced it, not you. but you did use it. And so my commentary about using AI is correct. You know, when sa.neter recently, he and I went to a restaurant and he interviewed me. He asked me about one of the schools I went to. I said, oh, no, I've never been there. He said, but AI says you have.
Yep.
So I want you to be clear that when it's culling information, it makes errors. You have to follow through the links. That's what I'm saying.
All right. All right. Reggie, what's the question you wanted to ask me?
Okay, so I think, is this a two-party show, or is this because you didn't call me to let me know? So
well, it's I'll let you know it's Jabari's show because y'all was on yesterday. You and Unc.
All right.
And hold up. Not only you and Unc, but Elder Yara, all the hating squad came through to bash Jabari. And some of them even said Jabari didn't bring sources, man. That was crazy to me.
All right.
In every round, he came with sources on every goddamn round.
Okay, did I come with sources? Wait, did I come with sources on every round?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so
they claimed you didn't, and sa.neter, you're gonna stop lying on my name.
That's not my position.
Okay, you're my opponent.
Right.
So I can understand.
I didn't even mention your name. Huh? I said y'all had y'all show yesterday,
okay.
And y'all brought all of the hating squad in.
Okay.
You know, it's crazy.
So the other question is, because I do have some obligations, can I come and knock on your door? What time?
I'll call you.
I know it's getting, remember I told you I have an obligation.
I hear you, brother, but I'll call you.
What does that mean? Can you take my phone call?
It means I will pick up the phone and call you.
Wait, Sa, can I call you right now? Talk off the line?
Not right now, because I'm live.
sa.neter, come on, man. Please. sa.neter.
Yo, what I just told you, bro. What did I say? What did I tell you?
sa.neter, please, can I call you?
Not right now.
Sa, I got an obligation. Can you let me know?
That's what I said. I'll call you, brother.
When? Can I just call you?
I don't want to have to tell our business on the goddamn internet. I said, I'll let you know. I'll call you, bro. God damn, Reggie, you acting like a little child right now, bro.
No, I'm asking you. How am I asking you? I'm pleading with you.
Brother, I can't do nothing until I get, come on, man. I don't want to talk about our business on the air, brother. Unc know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't want to do all that. Come on, man. I hear what you're saying. You're not the only one.
The thought is Omar. I've been waiting. Do you mind if I go after when y'all done, brother?
No, Umar. No, Umar. Not right now, man. Because you ain't see the debate.
Go after.
You didn't even see the debate. You didn't even see it.
So
after the show, when are you gonna call me?
Yes, I'm gonna call you right after the show. Come on, Reggie, man. I got you, brother. I got your bread. Don't worry about it. I got your bread. God damn. When the shit clear, I got you. That's what I'm trying to see. Now I got to go in the details. When the shit clear, I got you. I'll make a phone call to you. That's what I'm telling you.
So you can just call me.
For what? Call for what, man?
You don't have to talk about that. You can just call me, bro.
And I will. Huh? Right now, I'm doing the show, Reggie. Come on, brother. I got you. Don't worry about it. We ain't going to, I'm not going, you know exactly where I live at.
I just asked for you.
I got you, brother. Let me just finish this show. Y'all went in on Jabari yesterday. Let Jabari get his chance back. And I know this is a strategy, a tactic to take away from Jabari. So Jabari, let me ask you, brother. You say you won the debate. Do you think you won 3-0 or 2-0, or was it a landslide for you? And if so, how? How did you win?
I want to be really clear that I don't think Reggie won any of the rounds. I think that Reggie was the strongest in his opening, but usually in your opening, you don't necessarily have to show sources or anything really. This is just you talking to the crowd. I thought that his conversation in the very beginning was good, right? But it was 5 minutes. The rest of it, I didn't see sources. I did not see sources. I want to be really clear. I did not see sources. And precisely what I said that Reggie was going to do, for those of you who have not seen the debate, I gave a list of, I said, this is Reggie's game plan. And precisely what I said he was going to do, he did. Part of what he was doing in the entire debate was saying that I am saying that the Neteru do not exist. And I want to be clear that is, I've never said that. When I've been asked about it here, I've been clear. When I was asked about it in the debate, I was clear. And as you do that, he wasn't even dealing with the term literal. I said to folks there, I want to be clear. You have to demand that he shows you some scholars that agree with him. He did not. He did not. He misrepresented Vincent Tobin. He misrepresented Mfundishi. Mfundishi was doing something similar to some degree in his discussion. When he used the term literal, he was talking about what exists. But when you listen to what Mfundishi said, he was very clear that the Neteru are not actually as they're described in ancient Kemet. That those things are symbolic, and they were describing forces and energies and principles. When he said something is literal, he said, but the sun is literal. No one's disagreeing whether the sun is literal. No one. But is Ra literal? That's the question. And if you listen to Mfundishi, he was clear about that. So I want to say to you that when you all see the debate, and by the way, shame on you if you didn't, what you should do is listen to what the folks that he played said. Look at what they're saying. They're talking about deities existing, not about them being literal. And I said in the beginning, he's going to try to misrepresent what the word literal is. And I also want to say to you, at the end of the debate, I showed you that Reggie does not agree with this position. I'm not going to do it here. That's for you who saw the debate. We'll show it to you later. But Reggie doesn't agree with this position. I caught him. Now, I showed a video before where he was saying something very different. That was over 10 years ago. I showed how Reggie said something very clear, literally less than 2 weeks ago, on another program when he was trying to attack me. Here I am on another program promoting the Hoppy conference that's taking place in Chicago on the weekend of July 24th. By the way, you should go. I'm going to be leading a tour of what used to be called the Oriental Institute. And he came on to try to cause problems for me. It didn't work. But he ended up showing his hand. You cannot miss that. You can't miss it. So for those of you who saw the debate, you saw what I'm talking about. Those of you who didn't see the debate, when you actually see the link go up so you can watch the debate, you should get in on it so that you have an idea of what actually happened. And Israel Rising 88 is saying, Jabari, get tougher. Clearly, Israel Rising is upset because I've had done lots of work on Hebrews, and so now he's talking. Whack punked you. Yeah. Israel Rising, show your hand. Come out and say something so that we can deal with you. Okay? We'll deal with you. What you are now is a troll, and trolls belong under bridges. The internet is not under a bridge. Okay? So go back to the bridge, or actually be a man and come and say what you have to say. I'm putting a period there, sa.neter. I know there was something else you wanted to say. Or do you want me to continue?
Yeah, let me ask my brother sa.neter. 7 assault. What have you seen yesterday with the hating squad that came through? What did you witness?
Well, yesterday you called me, Brother sa.neter, and I was
And that's
unable
why I
to
called you to get on, because I knew I had to run, and I know you will hold it down.
Yeah, and I was unable to get on at that time because I was handling some business. But by the time I was able to get on, Jabari was on. But from what I watched, it was just the usual hate fest on Jabari and slander and misrepresenting the debate. That was another thing. There wasn't. That's one thing I always say is they have these conversations about Jabari or his argument, but like 89%, 90% of the time, Jabari isn't present. And I say, you guys are comfortable having these discussions about Jabari, about his arguments, but he's not present. And then when me or sa.neter or other people come and try to clarify his argument or even support the information that we've researched, we become vilified as well. But I have a question for my brother Jabari, because yesterday I was told that when you I cited right after the debate and Unc came up, I cited the same thing. I felt that you did 3-0. I cited the same thing. I felt that the sources he showed, there wasn't a clear showing of the sources. Like, he cited them, you could see them on the paper, but he didn't do what you did when you actually showed what the people said with the page number and the book. And I said all of these. I said pretty much the same things you said of why I felt you won. But, one of the things you said was you caught him 10 days ago making this claim. Can you show us what show and what date, the exact date that he made that statement? Because people were challenging me of if that date was real.
Yeah. I'm not going to show you what he said, because I think sa.neter wants to still deal with that and show the debate, which makes sense. But I'll show you what show it was on. It was here we go. Give me a second. This is the show. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see what show it was. He actually, hold on, let me share. Oh, it's already shared. sa.neter, if you can share that. This is the show. So I actually had a conversation with Yasir Rahotep on the Happy Film YouTube channel. And it was a good conversation. Now, Reggie has continued to try to kind of, attack me and other practitioners. You'll even hear him say, there's no such thing as comedic yoga and all other stuff. He's referring to Yasir Rahotep and trying to attack him and by extension attack me. So we actually had a discussion on Happy Film. And you'll see that when Reggie is typing in the chat, you can prove that he does not believe his position. I showed that in the room. And I'm going to tell you, I wish you were there, because everyone's mouth was first like this, and then they looked at Reggie. And Reggie did this. So let's be clear. Let's be clear. He got caught. He got caught. He does not believe this. And I said, what it really is for him, and I know he gets upset by this, but he attacks me all the time. And when I put in a jibe, then it's the end of the world. I said, this is really about lunch money for him. So, I mean, that's the deal. That's the deal. I think that when you're actually discussing this particular argument, you have to have a coherent argument, and the coherent argument should follow your sources. And what I heard is a lot of times, Reggie, by the way, it was really odd. Out of the blue, he'd be talking calmly, and then he'd just start yelling. It was a really, someone else is coming through. Please mute your mic.
Hell yes.
Who was that talking? Someone just said, hell yeah. Please mute your mic. So part of what happened is we actually saw him go into his theatrics. People talk about his energy. He just started yelling. That's all. He wasn't yelling based on the source. He wasn't yelling based on a coherent argument. Someone told him that he needed to have high energy, and so that's what he did. I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do that, because this is an intellectual debate. All you have to do is look at the argument I was making and follow the commentary. I'm going to tell you by the end of the night, the people in the room, I would say, so this scholar is saying that the Netu aren't what? And they would say literal, because they could see the sources. I showed no less than probably 10 scholars, respected scholars, some of them part of our community, Theophilo Benga, Solange Ashby, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, who was both of our elders in our development, and many others. And you can see very clearly that they are saying that the Neteru are allegorical and symbolic. Now, having said that, that's not saying that they don't exist. They just are not literal. The descriptions that you see in ancient Kemet are the ability of people to try to describe something that is in some ways undescribable. When we're talking about phenomena or powers or energies or forces in the universe, it's really difficult to describe those things. What they do is they have created a representation of it. That's what happens. And I'm not saying that the people of Kemet thought they were literal, and today we don't think they're literal. Someone just said that's what I'm arguing. No, I didn't just show you the scholars. Then I also went into ancient text in the debate. And I showed you the reality of non-literalism in the description of the Neteru. So I want you to understand that's how we approach this debate. And, you know, it should be very clear what occurred when the debate happened.
Okay. Hold on.
One more question. One more question. It's real quick.
Just hold it. Just hold it for a minute.
Okay.
I want to say, when my brother 7 came up with that and how they was doing Jabari yesterday, ideas started coming into my head, and I was saying to myself, are we really trying to educate the people and bring them information? Because with all of this hate garbage that's going on right now, just because you hate somebody, you would rather give the people wrong and disinformation. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's like it became now, oh, I hate him, so I'm going to go ahead and give misinformation and say Jabari didn't do this or Jabari did that. That's crazy to me when we look at this stuff. It become now the teachers, not all of them, but the teachers that come to teach is not teaching no more. They are more concerned with hating on Jabari, so I'm going to give the people, Unc, I'm shouting out you, Unc. I'm going to give the people misinformation. That shit is deep to me. Because we're supposed to be, when it comes to the information and the knowledge, we're supposed to be non-biased towards that, regardless of who it hurts, man. Because why? We're supposed to be the teachers, right? And so if we're going to teach the people, then let's look at the information. Is it right? Is it wrong? You got Yara up here going crazy yesterday.
Right.
Oh, man, you're a Hebrew Israelite, brother. What the hell
I
you
didn't
know?
hear what Yara said. I didn't even hear it.
He went crazy.
You know more about Kemet than Jabari.
Right.
And Jabari been the goddamn Kemet damn near 100 damn times.
Hey, Si, can I say something? Because they trash in the source. Hey, Jabari, do you know the source? Because they, making my source like I'm crazy. Del Mar College. Have you ever heard of Del Mar College?
I have.
Right. That's where the source that I presented came from. So,
right.
And he asked me for it, and they tell me like it's just an AI source and suntan on. Nigga, I mean, not you. People, I know what I'm doing. I just don't go get nothing and put it up. There
right.
it is right there if you want to pull it up, Si. But the thing is, I just don't grab nothing. And I was,
right.
the only reason I backed you, Jabari, because I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to fall back. I understand that they could be literal in some instances, but they're not real. You're not seeing no I'm poo walk around or none of that stuff. And then, and I'm going to leave it right here. If you can believe that stuff is literal, then you can believe that Jesus walked on the water. So I'll leave it there because it works both ways.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying is that We got to get out of that. We got to really get out of that. And Brother La, I'm going to pass you the mic, man. What you got to say about what I just said as far as us, you know, really teaching the people some real information instead of because I hate this person, I'm just going to lie. I'm just going to say it's incorrect. What do you think about that, Brother La?
First and foremost, peace and blessings. I don't know if you guys can hear me. It's kind of loud. I'm
We can hear you, brother.
We can. Peace, brother.
Yeah, peace, brother Lau.
Brother, hold up. I concur with you, sa.neter, 110%.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. You could go on and say what you want to say.
My purpose and reasoning for actually jumping on is to address Jabari. The name of the book was Ancient Egypt and Black Africa.
Oh. Okay, I'll get it. So you can see it.
All I need is the author's name. That's it.
Yeah. No, I'm going to get it so everyone can see it.
Okay. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
There's a reason why I went to go get it. Because look at who the book was by. Is that clear enough?
I got the screenshot.
Theophilo Benga.
Ooh.
Yeah, Theophilo Benga.
Theophilo Benga is number one. In terms of scholarship on this topic, he's number one. Everyone else references him. The only other person I would say, and part of the reason why is because he worked very clearly with Sheikh Anta Diop on this information. So Theophilo Benga is number one, and he's very clear about his description of the Neteru. Very clear about his description. I actually saw Reggie put Theophilo Benga's name on a screen as if he agreed. And I said, wow, how could he do that? That's when I first started saying, you know, he can't just say Theophilo Benga agrees with him. He cannot do that. Show us where Theophilo Benga agrees with you. Show us what he wrote. Because I literally have like eight comments from Theophilo Benga from his comments, citations from him in his book, Ancient African Philosophy. And so it's really important. The book is gigantic. It's a big book. Perhaps one of the most important works from Theophilo Benga in English. And it's really important in that regard.
All right. Let me do this right quick. This is the interview you missed, Jabari. It was 6 months ago when I brought Empathy onto the channel to interview him. Listen very closely.
Govern the universe, which are all aspects of the creator, but the natural. Okay, it's
or literal. Was they real or literal? That's the question I have for you.
Okay, it should be the natural. That's the plural.
Right.
The natural. The natural represent principles and laws that govern the universe, which are all aspects of the creator, but they're not. There is no falcon. No falcon that looks like Harud just talking to nobody. There is no crane. There is no crane that's a man with a crane head like Jehuti. The legendary Asar is not a real person. Okay, these are all spiritual concepts that we can't. They put something tangible so that you can understand something spiritual.
Right. Now some people will go as far and say, well, the people in Kemet at that time believed that these entities were real. What do you say to that?
No, never. They didn't know because that was part of their culture. They understood these concepts since they were born. They understood that they used principles in nature to represent something that you couldn't see spiritually.
Right. And I remember asking you this question when we was outside.
Yes, but remember now, we're talking about 3,000-4,000 years ago where people were in tune with nature.
Yes.
So we knew what Kepler did. We knew the dung beetle represent transformation. You know, we understood all this concept because we were in tune with it. So there was no man with a beetle head from another continent, another planet or nothing like that. No, these are all spiritual concepts that we need in our life. But in order for us to understand it, We created something physical that you did know about and made a relationship to it. But none of the Netcheru were real people.
Thank you, brother. That's all I have for you, man. Thank you. I'm going to come see you soon. Are you in town or you away? All right. So those are the words of Infidisi. That's what Infidisi teaches.
Yes.
That's it.
And that's what he said to me in our discussion as well. So, I mean, I think that Infundisi is sensitive to the idea that sometimes people say that the Netcheru don't exist. And I'm not saying that. I've spent my entire life being an adherent of Kemetic spirituality. Am I saying that this is just a flight of fancy? I'm not saying the Netcheru don't exist. I'm saying they aren't literal. That's it. Let's be clear. Literal is, and I always have to do this. I actually showed the definition on the screen during the debate, before the debate, blah, 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 many, many times. I want us to be clear. Literal means exactly the way it's presented. So, and this is one of the examples. If I say it's raining cats and dogs, you think that instead of bringing an umbrella, you should call the ASPCA. That would be literal. But the person who says that means, man, it's raining so hard, you had better have an umbrella. Maybe you should wear a poncho. Maybe you should stay inside because you're going to get wet. That's what it means. There's a difference between something that is literal and something that is allegorical. And that is something that we can fix.
And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Reggie did a hell of a good job. That's not taken away from what Reggie did. He did a good job. He came in, he entertained the people laughed, the people was up, and you know, he kept it alive. And so I'm not taking nothing from Reggie. And that's why I gave you my take on it, on who won. And I stand on that. Y'all could do all that. Let me get my queen over here, my sister. She's been waiting patiently. I speak of none other than Miss Sakina Ra in the building.
Peace, queen.
Peace to the panel.
Peace. Honking my eye.
Jabari. Take me off the big screen, sa.neter. You know it. Okay, so what I want to say is, again, sa.neter, I started off yesterday because I always have to give you your honor and your flowers. And I, again, want to say to Intepi, I was so glad you came yesterday, but what I said was prior to you coming, and this is, again, toward you, Brother Reggie and sa.neter, because what happened was I said that the debate was Simtawi at its best. And you end up saying that again. Now, you referred to it in the debate when you said that you wish you and Brother Reggie could have came together on the premises. And this is what happened with the civilization of Kemet. I gave one example when I said that Scorpion carried a hoe, which was something that he used as a farmer. But Namer was the one who unified Kemet. Okay? And so for me, because one of the things you showed was Geb, Newt, and Shu. And with this creation story, because Kemet's story in the pre-dynastic, and you taught me, right? And this is why I'm a proud member of Shem Shu Haru, bringing forth Haru. Okay? And so this was the lesson you gave. And yesterday I was out. And when I came back, the shrine was over. And so bringing forth Haru, one of the things is that the Bible, this is some of the dots. And so, sa.neter, I said I want to have a meeting because being civilized in America is having meetings where we discuss things and we don't argue. And by the time I got to speak, because they had messed up this meeting so bad, I got mad. And I started pointing fingers at everybody that found fault in ancient Kemet, which was pre-dynastic. And by the time CE kicked in, the Common Era, in the Medu-Neter, they found errors. And I give a shout out to my great teacher, Anika, But prior to that, Jabari taught us to be ambidextrous, to write with both hands. And I broke my hand. I broke my arm twice. And I had to do sa.neter with a broke hand, which was my other hand. But prior to that, I talked to Brother Reggie. And I asked him, because I took Greg's shorthand, because I was always a scriber. And that's what the Jabari taught me. They were scribers. But this is where I'm finna land at. Because moving forward, the sons of Haru was Atam, Aton, Atun, and Amen. So when Reggie said that if nothing wasn't stolen, Amen, Tukanaten, Keparah, Hotep. That is the final king. Atun turned out to be Atum. And there's a lot of Atums, Tukanatum, Kefarah. So the Bible changed a lot of these Kemetic names. And you knew this when you said that Jesus, there was no letter J until the 16th dynasty. So the language, just like when you show Yahshua the moon, because we knew that there were moons before there were suns. We traveled many moons before we traveled suns. See, I was a Buddhist at a young age. Then I was a Hindu in the Indus Valley. That was the Hopi. Hopi was a real person. Namr beat up and killed Hopi. So these nouns are persons, places, and things. Amen. So this is why when y'all come together, they had argued up some stuff, sa.neter, when you left. And then when Jabari and Reggie got back together and showed Simtawi, right, Jabari and Tepi? I'm sorry, I don't want to disrespect. When y'all got back together and y'all showed Simtawi, that was the greatest thing again that happened. So again, sa.neter, what you just said, again, proved again. This sa.neter HOK is what you build was so wonderful. But when everybody come in with the Greeks and the Herodotus couldn't even read. So what are we talking about when we get to the Greeks and everything that happened later? Everybody bringing in something that happened later. We know that Kemet invented math. That's the weights and measures. That's the principle of Mayat, balancing the scales. So if we got to start there, what happened at that time, then we got to start with what happened at that time. We can't bring in Greeks and everybody, Hebrews and everybody that wasn't there at that time. We got to start with what happened at that time. That's the business. Everybody keep trying to make something out of something that it's not. And I apologize for my actions, Brother sa.neter, yesterday. But when we sit up and I be patient as I can, and then when we want to point out, I do have a conversation about the names, because names mean everything. When they change Abram's name to Abraham, when they change Reuben's name to Josiah, to Hosea, to Hermes thrice, and I said I appreciate and Tepi for teaching me about Hermes thrice. I learned Hermes thrice through Hinduism. So when I said I am here because I learned so much from all the scholars, Elder Yara knows so much different than Elder Apostle when it comes to these names. But just like you said, Brother sa.neter, because they scared to tell the truth, knowing the apocryphas and all this other stuff, like they scared to come out that religion, is scary. And my books on Kemet and whatnot, if I do, I would not disrespect a name in Kemet because I can't pronounce them. But when my books are this big, these are encyclopedias. When my books are this big and they old, how can I do a presentation when my scholars are been there and they're old and the information that they give, why would I do that? To me, that's disrespect. They know I could never read. And Tappy Jabari said read 140 books a year. I already read 7 at one time just to gather the information that I remember, and some of it I can't remember, but I have an aha moment.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm gonna have to give you your own show. When you ready to do your own show, sister?
No, I don't want to do my own show. I just
Come on now, you got to get it in. You got a lot to say, sister. You got a lot to drop.
I
man.
just so appreciate y'all. I just want to be able to sit in among y'all and build without all this arguing. That's it.
That's it. I agree with you. Thank you, sister. And when you're ready to do a show, let me know, please, so we can get it in.
I will.
Okay. All right. Let me go to yes, Brother La.
So finish off from the conversation that we previously had, sa.neter.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say this to you and also to Jabari as well, because during the debate, myself and Jabari was having a small dialogue. And what going to say, what I'm going to say might somewhat be offensive.
To
you as well as to Reggie. What I said, and I was hoping and praying that it was going to be able to happen, was through all the arguing and all the slandering back and forth on both sides, there were subtle jabs that was thrown as well, that Jabari was throwing as well during the debate. I was hoping that through it all, at the end, I can just sit back, and it didn't happen. I was hoping it would happen, but it didn't happen.
But guess what I did?
Let's not just push the narratives. I'm listening, brother.
But what I did was I at least tried to make it happen. After the debate was over, what did I say? I said, let Jabari and Reggie take a picture shaking hands.
Right.
And Reggie declined.
Yeah.
He still didn't want to do it. The fight supposed to be in the ring. Once the fight is over with, people get up and shake hands. You know what I'm saying, Brother Live? Real men get up, shake hands, and they go their separate way. And so I said to Reggie, I said, yo, now it's over. Everybody was in there taking their pictures who we met for the first time. And I said, Reggie, I want to see you and Jabari take a picture holding hands now. Right. And Jabari is always willing right there, but Reggie declines, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
you know why he declined? Because we want to keep this thing going.
Okay.
You want to keep the arguing and the fighting going, man. And you can't learn like that. You can't teach like that.
Did you hear what he said yesterday?
Yep.
Did you guys hear what he said yesterday? When I asked him, I told Brother Reggie, I humbly asked you, brother, could you please, end this, this content that you and Brother Reggie, you and Brother Jabari have between you two. So, it's not good for the community. It's not good for the banana. No, it was more on him. I didn't say it in that way to where it was Jabari. It was really on him. And I told him, could you do it? Because it's not good for the community. It's not good for the platform. It's not good for the information. And I humbly, pretty much like begged the brother. And I don't know if you guys heard what his response was.
I told you what he said. He said in the afterlife.
He'll see the brother in the afterlife. That was his response. That was his response, Brother Jabari. He'll see you in the afterlife.
Now, so Reggie believe in the afterlife.
In the afterlife? Wow.
Well, that's what I said. sa.neter. Wait, hold on. Kim Netter said, Kim Netter said, how you know you're gonna be at the same place?
y'all doing most right now.
No, all right. Hey, we love Reggie, but Reggie won't let it go, man.
All right,
man. The reality is, I want you to also
he's my brother.
Those of you who saw it live and did not see it live, you need to understand that Reggie was having some technical challenges, right?
Yeah.
I gave him my laptop. The presentation he did was on my laptop.
Facts.
I don't know what else.
That's showing you Jabari don't have no hate for him.
Why would I hate him?
Hold on, sa.neter. Hold on, sa.neter. But in doing so, there was a subtle jab that was thrown every time an issue happened and then it occurred.
But let's
You're supposed to do that in a debate.
Brother Law, I didn't start with the jabs. I did not start with the jabs. I'm going to tell you, now that you're saying it, I'm going to say it out loud. First of all, I was annoyed at the beginning of the debate. You know why? Because Reggie was very late. He was late. And I was sitting there waiting. And then he got there late and then had tech problems. And the reason why you come early is so that you can work through those things. Yep. And then when I tried to help him, he was like, no, I don't want to stay awake, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I was annoyed at that time, right? He started with the jabs. And once he started with the jabs, I said, okay, I'm going to go in. Now, did I say anything completely inappropriate? I would not do that. I would not do that. But my opponents are not the only ones that can jab. They throw straight
Reggie was like an hour and a half late.
Hit me with chairs like in the WWE. And then when I throw a jab, they're like, Jabari threw a jab. Yes, Jabari threw a jab. I mean, come on.
Yo, listen.
Come on.
I called Jabari.
What I'm going to say.
Hold on, brother. I called Jabari about 1:30. And I said, Jabari, this was the day of the debate. I said, you want to be here early so you could test out your system. I called Reggie. Same thing. Reggie, you need to be here early so you can fix your system and test it out. Make sure it all works. I got it. I'm this and that. And I'm like, all right. So he comes an hour and a half late, brother. Everybody's sitting in there waiting. He comes an hour and a half late. And then when he do come, he got a problem with his system and all that. And we had to spend another, I would say another, 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
At least
to get his system up and running.
Yeah.
I'm happy to meet my brother for the first time. Rebel Rasta was in the building right there. Shout out to Rebel Rasta coming through, man. I see you had a good time because I kept looking back at you and you was laughing. You was going in. Reggie was going in. Reggie had the house rocking though. Keep it a buck. He had the house rocking. It wasn't bored. Yeah, it wasn't bored. So he had the house jumping.
Reggie was entertaining. I would not say he wasn't entertaining. He was entertaining. He was. But the reality is when he first started sa.neter, he started by talking about the Shrine of Ma'at. Yeah. The debate is not about the Shrine of Ma'at. When he started doing that, I said, all right, well. By the way, if you do see the debate, maybe you're not going to be able to see everything. But once he did that, I changed some slides. I literally changed some slides. I didn't have that lunch money slide set up to go.
Genius.
After he was swinging at me. So I mean, the reality is, I just wanted to discuss the topic. He was the one that started out. He even said he has a degree from an unaccredited school. By the way, my master's degree is from a school that's not traditionally accredited. That's one of my master's degrees. But when he did that, what did you expect me to do?
Right.
What did you expect me to do? And I don't even understand why he continues to swing at something that's a weakness.
And
that's like the guy in a wheelchair saying, my opponent can't even run. What? You in a wheelchair, son?
Hold on. We all got to admit this. We all have to admit this, though. Hold on. I love my brother Reggie. We all love our brother Reggie. But Reggie takes shots, and then when Jabari fire back, he act like he ain't do nothing wrong, bro.
I called him the champ of throwing the rock and hiding his hand.
Yeah,
that's what he do.
Stop that.
That's facts.
What I'm going to say is during the issuing that transpired with the laptop and with the screen and all of that, it was something that could have been done. Granted, I get it, I understand. But what Jabari was doing was, and I'm the one that doesn't have a degree. You was walking around the whole venue.
No. I said, and one of us has a computer engineering degree, is what I said. That's what I said.
And I tapped you, Jabari, like, Jabari, come on, don't do
yes,
that.
You did.
No.
Yes, you did. Brother, a lot of Peacemaker said, "Come on now, please don't do that." Yes, he did. That's a fact. Yes, he did.
All right, let me go.
I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to jump off because I got to actually punch back into work. What it basically boils down to is this, and this is what I was somewhat afraid of. From looking at it from the standpoint, as a debater, Jabari is a great debater. And a lot of people were nervous and scared that Reggie was going to be long-winded in the sense of being like a professor in a college class and just be rocking people to sleep and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case at all.
That wasn't the case at all. I even thought that Reggie was going to be a little boring. Nope, not one.
That's
not
true.
1 minute.
That's true.
Reggie, when he was going in, he was having fun doing what he was doing.
But Jabari, what you're saying in regards for Reggie didn't bring any sources, he brought some sources.
I think
that last source is what I questioned you about for the last slide that he showed.
When the debate is public, we'll talk about it. When the debate is public, I'm going to show you why I'm saying he didn't bring sources. Because people actually make it sound like if you said this person said that, that's a source. That's not what a source is. That means that I could say, the ancient Kemetic Neteru actually sat on large thrones with big crowns, and then just put the book down. What? That's not a source. Did this person actually say that? That's what you're supposed to do. And if you're writing a scholarly paper, it is appropriate to put the name of the author and the year. But at the bottom, you have what's called an end note. Or if you don't like end notes, some people even put it at the end, a footnote. There was no end note or footnote. He just suggested that these people said those things. They did not. He did that with Obenga. I showed you exactly what Obenga says. He did not. When the debate is out, I'll show you what I mean.
All right. Let me go to Michael Ross. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Peace to the panel. Congratulations to
Jabari. You something else, Jabari.
No, you got to talk up, brother. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
No.
Y'all can't hear me?
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me see. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
A little better. Yeah, a little better.
Okay, well, I said peace to the panel. Congratulations to Jabari. Jabari won this debate. Sa, you gonna keep running into this problem of bias until y'all establish a standard review of a debate. Now, if you're looking at a formal debate, Reggie, and this is not disrespectful, this is just the facts, man, Reggie was trolling and it was terrible because his round one, which everybody said he won, he spent the whole time talking about Jabari. And if he has the burden of proof, you have to prove why you think the Neteru is literal. He didn't do it. So all of these people up here, even Pastor Bennett came up here, Elder Yara came up here. These people are smart people. So to look at a debate and not understand what's happening in a debate, I got to question whether this is the conscious community.
What did Pastor Bennett say?
Pastor Bennett act like he didn't know what literal is. And this is what I wanted to ask yesterday. And I got interrupted. I asked this question. I said, just because something exists doesn't make it literal. Nobody answered that question. Then I wanted to ask, are you guys conflating existence with physical reality? They wouldn't allow me to answer them questions. So I was trying to get Unc to stop and say, hey, if y'all know what literal is, then y'all will understand the burden of proof is on Brother Reggie to prove that the Neteru are literal. And if you're in formal debate, and this is not disrespectful, Reggie was trolling. It was a terrible job that he got up here for 3 rounds. And if you watch the debate live and you watch the comments, everybody, damn near everybody was saying this got to be a troll job. And Jabari, man, you did an excellent job. You came up there, you showed sources, you went in there, you explained, and me watching, I can say I learned something from you. But when it was Brother Reggie's turn, again, I'm going to be short and I'm going to jump off. I thought it was trolling. Peace to the fam. Go ahead.
Peace, brother.
Wow, thank you.
All right. Let me go to Immortal Dragon.
Oh. Mic check, mic check. Is my AC
No, we hear
blasting? Okay, cool.
Hold on, Immortal. Hey, Pastor, I want you to know you are live on the air. I got Jabari on the air, and the words came out yesterday that you said Reggie won. And can you explain yourself about that? I got Jabari here right now.
Okay, I'm finishing a minute. Can I call you back in like 2 minutes?
Make sure it's 2 minutes because I got to be out of here before 2 o'clock.
Yep, I'm just finishing up this quick meeting. I'll
Don't
call
be,
you right
don't
back.
be hiding. 2 o'clock, brother.
Oh my God. All right.
Go ahead, Immortal. You got the floor.
Okay, thank you. First off, good job to both debaters. Thank you, Jabari, for the books that you brought up, because I've been writing down your books for a while now. I'm just too lazy to go and buy them, so it's my fault. But I give you the third round because of the primaries that you brought out at the end and stuff. That was really good. We can talk about that another day, though. And then the first 2 rounds, I think I give to Reggie. The first one, 100%, I gave to Reggie just because of I understand your stance on what a netter is, and I understand Reggie's stance on what a netter is. But I think what the original people's stance on what the netter is was plain and simple, and he brought that out like verbatim. Like the netters are everything in existence that can be observed, basically. So everything in the natural world that can be observed is a netter. So that would be the sun, moon, stars, the river, the cows, the falcons, the crocodiles, the people, etc. And when Infodici his video of the Infodici thing, which people say he led the question, he did lead the witness, but he led the witness into the debate topic of, are they literal? And did the people think they were literal? And Infodici said verbatim that everything to the Kemetic people were literal netters. Verbatim. And then he mentioned the spiritual thing afterwards. And then on your Infodici video, you also led the witness. Hold on, sorry. You also led the witness, but I think you led the witness into a different form of what a netter is, which is how the netters are only depicted in the later imagery and not the early imagery. Because I really think that most people don't know what a netter is 100%. And I have 2 short questions for you, if you can. Please, very short.
Hold on, brother. Because I got Pastor Bennett on the line, I'm gonna have to let him cut in, because he ain't gonna be here that long. He can't come in. He's a pastor, a real pastor.
Right.
But I'm gonna come right back to you, Pastor Bennett. You there?
Yep, I'm here. What's up?
Okay, Pastor Bennett, what is your take on the debate? I heard that you were saying things like, Reggie won, or you don't know what literal is, and I guess you got to say that because you believe Jesus was literal and Moses and Jesus walking on water. So I think you would have to go that route. I understand, Pastor Bennett. So I want you to explain it for yourself about the debate. Did you see the debate, number 1?
Of course.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no. So first of all, I don't want nobody to get it twisted. I was very respectful to both Jabari and Reggie.
Yes.
Because number 1, I came in saying, number 1, I don't believe neither one of them. Right? I don't agree with Jabari about netters or Reggie. Like, for example, I don't believe they're literal at all, nor do I believe they're real. So Reggie believes they're literal. I don't. Jabari believes they're real and exist. I don't. So I have no dog in the fight as it pertains to that. I do believe, I said Reggie won 2-1. I also said I did not like Reggie's third round at all. And so I think Jabari clearly took that. Here was what I said specifically.
if the debate title was, are the symbols of the netters literal?
No.
Jabari,
The title is, are the netters literal?
No, I know. I'm saying, this is what I said. I'm giving you what I said.
Go ahead.
I'm saying if the title would have been, are the symbols of the netters real? Meaning like the dog face is on the body. Then Jabari wiped the floor with the debate. Jabari clearly proved that what was symbolic was a representation of. He clearly proved that. I think where I say Reggie won is because the representation is what Jabari would say is real. And I think what it is representing to Jabari is real. So while the dog face or whatever itself, the symbol is literal, what it's representing is real. And I use that from his example of even those who have put the mask on their face, but then what Jabari called an energy took over them. That is something that is real, right? And so let's start here with the Infidisi one. Okay, Reggie put on that Infidisi clearly did say literal. He clearly said that. Jabari did come back and say, Infidisi agrees with me. And then on the video, Infidisi did seem to agree with Jabari. So if he is saying both, he's saying it's literal, because he said that in Reggie's video, but he agreed with it from a conceptual point of Jabari. So Reggie is right in the sense that it can be said they're literal. And then when you say it's in everything, well, the everything that it is, or it is in, is literal. So what it would be in, what that energy would be in, is literal. This is how I saw Reggie present it, that which that energy or whatever it is in, the netters are literal. Right? That's how I seen Reggie presenting the argument, where I seen Jabari presenting it from a symbolic standpoint, that the symbols themselves are not literal. They are not literal netters, I should say. They are a representation of what Jabari seems to be saying is an energy or whatever. So I give you the last example I give is where I seen Jabari give the cat on the mat. He said that's literal. The lion heart boy, that's figurative, that's symbolic. Is that right, Jabari? Did I have that right?
It's one of the examples I gave, yes.
Okay, got you. So the cat on the mat would be literal, but it would also be, if we were talking about, and I think I used this example yesterday with one of the brothers, it would also be, if we were talking about in reality sense, Jabari, there is a real thing where a cat could really be on a mat. So where it can be literal and real. The cat is literally on this mat, and the cat is real, and the mat is real. You understand that?
I mean, it's very plain. I don't know what there is to not understand. That's right. Plain. You just said.
So different from it's raining cats and dogs.
Right.
So when it's raining cats and dogs, we would understand that cats and dogs aren't really falling from the sky.
Right.
Yet, while raining cats and dogs would be figurative, it actually means something is happening, though. We would understand it to mean it's raining hard.
So, Pastor Bennett.
And that, hold on, because this is the part where I'm going to give it to Jabari. That's the part where I don't think Jabari brought home for me that, yes, the cats and dogs is symbolic. But what I don't think Jabari brought home is, but it is literally representing something. The symbolic representation of it's raining cats and dogs, the rain is literally falling. Correct?
No,
I
man.
Think that
no, because
ready to get you all confused.
Yeah. What are you saying,
exactly?
That it's raining cats and dogs, meaning it's cats and dogs, not the water, brother.
But wait, sa.neter, let's describe it this way. Let's describe it this way. I want to be really clear that Reggie did something that was supposed to be confusing. He started his first round by saying, Jabari's confusing. He never tells you what literal is. But before the debate, I showed you a definition. During the debate, I showed you a definition. Reggie didn't need that because his plan was to confuse you. This is the reason why when people say, are the Neteru real? I say, stop saying that.
Yep.
Because that's not what the debate is about. Fact. Do you think that a priest who has had a temple for 12 years, who has been an adherent since 1998, I am really old. No, and been adherent since 1990. I'm really old. Been initiated in the Shrine Bata since 98. Do you think that I am arguing, or that anyone that is an adherent is arguing that the Neteru that they are not real, that they do not exist? That's not what the argument is about. And so essentially what Reggie is doing, and I said this before, if you look at when I said what his game plan was, number one was he's going to try to confuse you about what literal means. There's no way that you can say that raining cats and dog is literal. You are saying, well, there's really rain. That's not even an issue. We're saying the sentence is not literal. That's the point. You're saying, but there's rain and there's something called a cat and a dog. That's not the issue. sa.neter, can you please put this up really quickly? This was his intentional confusion, right? Notice he didn't show you what literal or allegorical was. That was intentional because he tried to throw a lot of stuff there and make it confusing. On the left, you are seeing the deity that represents the energy of the moon. On the right, you are seeing the moon. You're seeing the moon. When the Kemetic people demonstrate their connection to the energy of the moon, they don't show you the moon. Do they have the ability to draw the moon? Of course they do. Do they have ability to have just a statue of the moon sitting at a temple? Of course they do. But when they actually want to talk about the energy of the moon, when they build temples, they show you Yah. The deity is Yah. That's what I want you to understand. They have the ability to just put a moon up there and say, the moon is the deity. They don't do that. They don't do that ever. Do you think they didn't know what the sun looked like? Why is it that when you go to a temple, you don't see just a representation of the sun, but you see a falcon with the sun on his head? The deity is not literal. And you allow him, you got so confused that you're saying, well, the rain exists, but that's not the question.
No.
If you are thinking that whether something exists is the debate, then that's not the debate. The debate is it literal? And we know what literal means, right?
Jabari, let me say this.
Yes.
Let me say this to you because, and again, I want to give, this is your time, this is your show, so I'm going to give you back the floor real quick. Thank you for saying that. I think you might have misunderstood me. Let me just clarify a quick point. I understand everything you just said. So I'm going to clarify something really quick about the cats and dogs example that I was just saying. When I was saying, but the rain is really there, I was not saying that to suggest you don't understand that or know that. Here's where I am getting confused about what you just said. What you're explaining about the cat, what I said about the cats and dogs is what I think you proved. I think you proved that the cats and dogs are symbolic and not literal, right? From that perspective. What I'm saying though is you proving that for me means nothing, because what I'm saying is that's not the debate. The debate is not, are the symbolic symbols that represent rain literal? That is what's not the debate. So the debate is not for you to show me if the netters symbolically are literal. The debate was, are the netters literal? And therefore, I would ask you this question. Can things be literal that are not physical?
What? Say again, can something be literal?
that is not
and
physical.
not be physical.
Yes. Can things be literal
Of an example.
that are not
Of an example. The very fact that you said
Do you
things.
Okay.
The reality is,
and things that are real. Okay.
Don't use the word
Okay,
real.
let me say it like this. No, listen to what I'm saying. Okay, let me say it like this. And can things that exist be literal and not be physical, meaning made of matter?
The very fact that you're asking me about things means no. You realize when you say things, that means no.
Can what do you want? What word do you want me to use besides thing?
I don't know, because you're the one that's trying to describe it. You're asking me what word.
Do you believe?
Let me frame it this way, and I did this during the debate. There are many things that exist that are not physical, that are not literal. I gave the example of love, of courage, of bravery, of liberty, of freedom. None of those things are physical or literal in that sense, but they are very real. That's the reason why I don't deal with the word real. The Neteru operate in a similar space. They exist, but they are not literal. And sometimes the symbol that is used might be connected to something that is literal, the sun, the moon. But the Kemetic people are not worshiping, are not praying to, are not giving offerings to the sun or the moon. If that was the case, when you go to a temple, when you would see a depiction of the sun. That's not what you see. You see.
All right, hold on, y'all.
With the sun on their head.
All right, hold on. I can't keep going back and forth. I got something to take care of. Pastor Bennett, when the debate was over, Captain Tazariak came to me and said, we need to fly Pastor Bennett in because I want to debate him on the topic of Joseph and Mary. So, I mean, he's calling you out, brother. What you want to do?
And that's really not an issue.
All right,
we
so
can do
we're going to do it. We're going to do it right over there with Captain. All right, and come up with a topic.
Yeah, I want to come up with a better topic than that.
Okay, so let's get it. Come on up, and Captain is ready.
That's not a problem.
How long is going to be for you to hit me with the topic, brother?
I'm gonna call him directly. We work out a topic.
Okay, got you. I gotta go, Pastor. I gotta let you go.
Okay.
Can I spend one thing quick before you go?
Hold up, say that again.
I want to ask the pastor something before he goes. I want to say something. Take it put down a little bit. Pastor, I know you're Christian.
A chance
I'm not
to
a
shoot,
Christian.
but I'll still wait though.
Real quick, when you said literal without being tangible, what do you think? Can I know you're a Christian? So are you talking about like the Holy Spirit? Because the Holy Spirit is like a dove symbolically, and it's not really real in the sense you can touch it or feel it or whatever. You can feel it, but it's not literal in the sense you can actually see the Holy Spirit. Like you see people in church dancing around or whatever, they got the Holy Spirit or whatever in them. They capture that energy, but there's not a thing you can touch. Are you trying to get that out of Jabari if it's something like that he's should be breaking?
You're close, but not really, because I would have never called the Holy Spirit energy. So you're close, but I would make it more clear. I wouldn't just say the Holy Spirit. I would just say spirit. I believe in spirit, and the spirit is not made of material, physical. But that doesn't mean the spirit does not exist. So, for example, I don't believe that physical or matter is eternal. I don't believe that matter has always existed. I believe something that is not physical, meaning of material, brought that into existence. Jabari, I would think, in some sense, believes in spirits as well. I think that the experience that he talked about, where he heard the voice, I believe that was real to him. I believe that was real to him. I could be wrong, but I believe that was real to him. And I don't believe it was a physical person of matter that spoke. So I believe he believes that is real. That is my simple thing when I say, can something be literal that is not made of material? Because the debate was not, are the symbols of matter literal. It is the netter's literal. So when you say cats and dogs falling, we know cats and dogs are not literally falling from the sky. But what cats and dogs represent is representing something that is literal. And if you only take literal from the matter perspective of a matter, which I don't think Jabari as a Kemetic priest does. I could be wrong, but I don't think he only considers that the only things that are literal are made of matter. I would have a hard time understanding his ontology as it pertains to netters if it's only matter. That's all I'm saying.
Pastor Bennett, can you define literal? Define literal, because you're using existence or reality. But what does the word literal mean?
So I would say, from the perspective of how we're talking, it would be to using
our perspective. What does literal mean?
Using things or words exactly how they are being defined.
Huh?
So if I was
without metaphor or exact.
Without metaphor, so exactly. So if I said it's raining hard, that would be literal, because I'm explaining exactly what is occurring. But if I say it's raining cats and dogs, that would not be literal, because I'm explaining what's happening, but I'm explaining it in a figurative way for you to understand that I'm saying it's raining hard. But if I just said it's raining hard, that would be using the words exactly how they are defined.
So when you see the image of Heru, is Heru literal?
No, because you just said when I see the image of Heru, Heru's not literal. But that's the problem. That's the problem that I'm saying. Now, Jabari, that part is where I said you wiped the floor with the debate. But I don't see that. Now, maybe I'm wrong, Jabari, but I don't see that as the debate title. I don't just see the debate title saying, are the images of the netters literal? Because then the answer is clearly no.
But it's not just the literal. It's not. But wait, Pastor Bennett, it's not just the image. There is an entire set of stories around things that Heru did. There's a whole story about his family.
All right. Yo. I got to roll. Sorry, y'all. I got to roll, because you know how this going to go.
sa.neter, I just want to drive this home for a second. It's not just the imagery that isn't literal. We have a story of a child that was born of a woman whose father was killed. He grows up by the Hapi. He fights his uncle. He has a falcon on his head. I want you to understand all of that is myth. None of that is literal. It's not just the image.
And do you know this, Jabari? And Jabari, yes. Do you know this? Do you know this?
No, you cutting in, bro.
Hold on, we just talking. Do you know this, Jabari? That in the Christian faith, and I'm sure you know this, so I'm not asking you as if you don't know. But in the Christian faith, you know, we would never say of Jesus that his stories are not literal. You know that.
Clearly, right? I know that. Clearly, I know that. I think that's one of the weaknesses of the modern Christian tradition. There were many early Christians that did not read it that way. You know this.
No. Yeah, but those would not be for me.
All right.
And we'll have that discussion
I ain't
later.
going for it no more. That's it.
Okay, Jabari, we're talking.
We gotta talk. We gotta chop it up, Pastor Bennett. Good to hear from you.
Let me let Immortal Dragon finish. I gotta let him finish.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Pastor Bennett, everybody. All right, I have two really quick questions for you that are yes or no. Please and thank you. No explanation. And then the third thing, yes.
For me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Jabari. Okay. And then the third one, you can beat me up after. The first one is, yes or no, do you think that in your opening, by saying that 3 are the exception to the rule, that you conceded the debate in a way? Just say yes or no on that one real quick.
No.
Okay, thank you.
No, I don't.
And then the second one, do you agree with all of Dr. Raketi Amin's definition of a netter, meaning all things in existence, when she labeled out plants, animals, man, ideas, concepts, energies, spirits, etc.? Do you agree with both factions of that definition? Yes or no, please.
I would say that that's not what she said. What she was
man,
saying,
don't do that.
if you listen, wait, listen, Dragon. I didn't hear the whole Dragon, but you're Dragon. But if you listen to what she said, she then said, all things are holy.
Yes.
You have to understand, in the Kemetic language, the word neter doesn't just mean deity.
Yep,
We're talking
I
about
got that.
deities, but it also means divine. It means holy. It means several things. So when she's using the word neter in that instance, she's speaking of things that in the English language we would say are holy, are imbued with divine energy. She's not
Which are
saying
all
that
things in existence.
She's not saying that everything in existence is a neter in terms of a deity.
Oh man.
She's not
All
saying
right, pause
that.
there.
So let me ask you this. The Kemetic people ate chickpeas a whole lot. A whole lot. Is there a deity that is the chickpea?
I have not seen that one, but I know about 7 animals that are. Yeah.
The answer is no. So for you all to assert that everything is a deity is wrong. And that's not what Nikki Amen was saying. She's saying everything is imbued with divine energy. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. That's why you hear her say everything is holy, she said. Did you hear her say that in the quote?
I did. I was putting all that and the etc. part under if you agree with the whole statement, or no, you do not agree with all of it, or yes, you do, but I don't understand what she meant. I'll accept that as an answer because I am a rookie. So I will accept that right now.
My answer is I don't think that she's wrong. I'm just saying that the understanding of what she was trying to say is lost. Because when she says everything is holy, she's trying to be clear about what she's saying.
Okay, cool. All right, now I have a third thing that you can beat me up on now. When you damn. This is why I gave you the third round, because this is what I wanted from Reggie. I wanted Reggie to go straight to the Old Kingdom and before, which he did in the first video, kinda. But like, you need to rehash that in the third one. But was him to go to the Old Kingdom and forward and illustrate all the divine beings that they had, such as basically all the gnomes had a divine being. And to me, and most of the people, would not think the divine being on the standard were energy representations. They were physical being representations of the actual neters that they worship, i.e., like the first 2 gnomes, Heru and Set, later transition to Ampu if you want to do that later. But those 2 were literal animals that they worship. And then the Apis bull thing, I would say, was not the only one, but Bot was also a physical animal, like a water buffalo, which is on the Narmer palette. So all the animals on the Bekenken, besides the placenta thing, would be physical neters.
What water buffalo?
Is she not a water buffalo? Bot.
Ooh.
To me, it looks like a water buffalo more than a cow.
She's
or a bull.
Okay, I hear you. Most people would say she's a bovine deity.
Oh, yeah, got you. That's good.
When you see the full depiction, she's clearly a cow.
Yes, gotcha. Yeah. And then let me get one more part, and then you can beat me up now. Yesterday when wait, give me 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I'm
never
done.
Speaks, does he? Let him just finish his last.
No, I don't.
Piece, please.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
On any answer, I'll try.
Thank you. Yesterday when you were correcting Reggie on the Ra Harakti papyrus that you brought up with Ra with the sun on his head, you were saying that the neters need. Or all, I don't know if you said always, but you said need a determinative, which is not 100% right, because the 4 main ones that we talk about all the time don't always have a determinative, such as Ptah, Heru, Wasir, and Ma'at don't always have a determinative. And now you can beat me up. Thank you for talking. Let me talk.
When you say they don't always have a determinative, what do you mean?
Like, they're written out, but they're the actual neter. Like, Hor is the literal falcon in the writing. Like, you can see that in the first 3 dynasties, I think. What's his name? Unisys has one. Pyramid Text 305 has one. Pyramid Text 1036 has one, and what's that dude's name? Nails? Yeah, Nails. I think it was. Have them. Okay.
Sometimes what you'll see when they actually draw the Kemetic language. Let me, instead of trying to find a source.
Hey, yo, hold on, Jabari. You don't need to respond right quick because I ain't got that much time. I got
I'm gonna give a 15-second response.
All right, I'm gonna count that.
Sometimes with the way that the language is written, the picture of the deity exists as the determinative. But when they're writing the name without the picture, there's always a determinative.
Let me watch this. All right, now look at homeboy.
Not Ptah.
Hold on. Immortal. Did you go to college, brother? Did you go to college, Immortal? No, Immortal, I'm asking you a question.
My bad, I'm muted. I said no, I didn't, sir.
Do you have any degrees or something, brother?
No, I don't.
All right, so here's what I want to ask you. And not only for you, brother, not only for you, but here we have a college professor. I want all of y'all to listen to me right quick. Here we have a college professor who's been to Africa, to Egypt over goddamn 50 times. Right?
25.
Right. Who's been studying this for decades. And now when you got someone here to teach us about Kemet, about the African history, we just act like he's just a regular person with no degrees, nothing on his back. But let a white man come here. Ask Unc and them. Ask Unc, ask Garfield, ask all of them. When the white boy come on there, he could be a PhD, he could be a professor, and they give him all the goddamn love and respect in the world. But because they know Jabari and he comes over here and he talks with them, they think they can go ahead and debate with him and build and go in on him. But if they didn't know Jabari, they would be sourcing his goddamn books. They would be sourcing, yo, did you hear brother Jabari Osaze? This is what he said. But because they get so goddamn familiar with him, they don't want to respect. Yo, who's that, man? They don't want to respect none of that. But he comes over and try to give them some love, and you know, they don't want to respect it. And none of them got no goddamn PhD. None of them got no professor. He's in college right now teaching students.
And Jabari, you can learn from your students, correct?
Hold on, brother. It's just sad to me that they don't want to give him his just due. But let Jabari have a white face and let him be a white man and see how much love and respect he get from that. Do you want to add on to that 7 star?
You know, I definitely always want to add on to that because, you know, every time I say this about Jabari, you know, I get met with hate because I'm just stating the facts of what he is and what he means to our community. And it consistently, because he makes himself available to us, they have this type of ego that they can come and just approach him. And when he destroys them, it creates hate because he's about the scholarship. Every time I come on here, I constantly say this. Jabari doesn't just talk. He constantly shows what he's teaching us. So he's not up here like a lot of people just talking and talking. He's teaching us. He's giving us, he's guiding us. And I think it's not being appreciated like it should. You know, and another thing I think was dangerous. One more thing, because this needs to be said. I think was dangerous, and Jabari talked about the confusion that kind of came out with the hate, because we literally had our brother Amin-Ra McCarthy and Pastor Bennett trying to project their Christianity beliefs on how a Kemetic priest practices his beliefs.
Yeah.
And they have very little knowledge in that area. But yet now they're comfortable.
You know how, Asar, when you're younger and you got your girl and you putting hickeys all on her neck? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That's the way it is with a lot of our people here. You let the white boy come here He'll have hippies all on his ass.
Facts.
Did you get that? What I just said?
Love.
Hippie all over his ass.
Love.
Literally. God damn it. Literally.
Yes.
All on his behind. Hickeys all over it. So you know what they've been doing.
Brother sa.neter, the best example you have is when Richard Carrier debated Jabari, and he showed no sources. He showed no sources, and the person who says source up and shut up accepted the little citations at the bottom without him showing anything.
He said Richard Carrier is his source. That's what Unc said. My brother Unc said Richard Carrier is his source, is the source. I'm like,
exactly.
Where they do that at? Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you, let a white boy come here and he'll have hickeys all on his bottom. That's crazy, man. Hey, Jabari, anybody else? I got to close out. We got Apostle here. Let me see what Apostle. We ain't get Apostle's take. He been on punishment for a couple of days. Every time he drink and get mad, he ends up cursing me out on the goddamn panel. So go ahead, Apostle. What's your take on the debate? You've seen it, right?
First of all, yeah, I did see it. Okay. Unfortunately, Reggie did win 2-1.
You said Reggie won?
Reggie won 2-1.
Okay.
And this is not a slight against Jabari because I don't dislike Jabari, but I'm tending now to dislike sa.neter because he's showing himself to be a snake. And over again.
See how I let him come up here and talk again, and he do it again.
Crazy, man.
The alcohol.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Trying to diss me on my own platform.
Right. I got something to say, sir.
The biggest dumbass wannabe apostle in the world. Dumb. Lying. Hold on. The biggest goddamn lying hypocrite that talks about he deals with the Bible. Nobody respects him. Nobody listens to him. Now I'm going to talk about you, nigga. Nobody respects him. Nobody listens to him. He's disrespectful to everybody. Everybody. And all he do is drink and act stupid. Act like a little kid and a child because he can't take it. He gets mad and can't take it. And I just let him up to be on my channel again. And look at what he do. He think I'm going to allow him to come up here on my platform and be disrespectful to me. The nigga's sick. The nigga's a sick nigga.
It's crazy.
And so not only am I going to kick him out, but I'm going to ban him from coming on my channel. Ban. I just hit the ban. Now he's banned for coming on my channel until he make a public apology to me. So now I blocks him. All right. Who want to go? Go ahead, Tahuti.
I wanted to come up here. Peace, sa.neter, neter, and Tepi.
Peace. Peace.
All right. So I wanted to come up here to give my version or my understanding of Baba and Fadishi's responses to those videos. And I want to first ask a really quick question. The debate title was in English, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I saw Brother Reggie speaking to Baba and Fadishi, and Baba and Fadishi gave a disclosure in the very beginning of his statement. He said that the term literal is not the same in English as it is in the ancient Khmer.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand that this was a tactic used by Brother Reggie because Brother Reggie also came on and he said, hey, you have to understand the language that it was in back then, as if the title of the debate wasn't in English, right? So when Baba Infadishi was giving his answers, he was answering according to his disclosure as far as a different view of the word. So we really wasn't on the same topic. Everything is in reference to context. So that gave Baba Infadishi the right and the ability to answer in affirmative when Brother Reggie was leading him on. right? The only reason why it was affirmative is because it was a disclosure given previously in reference to how the word is being used at that time. But that wasn't in reference to the title. The title was in English.
Yeah.
Did have a secondary thing I wanted to bring up. It kind of escapes me right now. So yeah, I'll just end with that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let me see who else I didn't get yet. I didn't get Elder Suntan's take.
Peace, brother Jabari. Peace to the panel.
Peace.
Yeah, you know, Jabari, I was going, you know, both ways. The way I look at the Egyptian way, I was going both ways until the debate itself, right? But I clearly understand, and they all know it because I've been commenting and stuff like that. Even in the chat at the debate, I was saying, man, how there's no falcon walking around.
Right.
I'm gonna just break it down to you like this: there's no human deities, man. They're not human until they die and pass over. But the ones with the animal heads, Apu and all of them, that's not real. When you go to saying stuff like that real, then you're going into belief as the Christians and as the Abrahamic faith do with their allegory. So I already knew that he couldn't prove that, you know, the debate. So, you know, Reggie did great with what he was doing, and he was a great showmanship and everything. But the fact of the matter is, and I'm gonna end on this because I ain't even got a long diatribe. They can't be literal because it's not real when you see and you got masses, Jabari, but we seeing pictorials about this when we look back in antiquity. They not masses, they actually human bodies metaphor into a person. So that's not real. That's symbolic. So yeah, so that's it, man. It ain't even hard, man. It ain't even hard.
Let me go to one of the haters that we got up in here, brother Omar Muhammad. Man, what's up, brother?
Come on, Sty. You know I'm not no hater, man.
Brother,
you know
you
I
are
always
hater,
show
brother.
love.
It's all right. You ain't gotta.
Come on, bro. Don't do me like that, brother Sty. Don't do me like that.
I still greet you in peace, brother Omar. Go ahead. What you trying to say?
So here's the thing here.
Oh,
Jabari has no authority to be the voice for the Kemetic people. And this is why he has no authority to be the voice of the Kemetic people. He himself said that he reconstructs these things. So I want y'all to notice something carefully. When Jabari sourced up, he showed those two dolls up there. And then he made a reference to the moon. Now, what we got to do, we got to leave our Western mind frame about to be the voice for the Kemetic people. What did the Kemetic people think? They actually had they had these little trinkets and dolls in their homes. Why did they have it in their homes? Was it something symbolic, a force, a movement, or did they actually deify them to say that they were literal? So Jabari can't speak for these people. Why? What did the Kemetic people do? They had these things in their, I'm talking about the average Kemetic citizen, had these things in their home. What did they do? They prayed to them. They worshiped. More importantly, they gave offerings to it. They had certain rituals that they would do. And guess what? Not every Kemetic citizen held to the same deity, God, or the same force of movement. No, they actually had cults. So depending on what area, what pocket that you were in, you might uplift a certain deity or something like that. But they actually thought it was literal. Why else would they have these things in their homes to pray, have rituals, give offerings too? So the thing is, Jabari has no authority. And the reason he has no authority, himself said that he reconstructs it. So once he becomes a reconstructionist, he takes it out the natural form that the average Kemetic citizen thought and had these things in their homes. So because he reconstructs it, Jabari is not the voice of the average Kemetic citizen. And I land right there.
Okay. Can I respond? That's a strange
please,
statement.
please.
That's a really strange statement. I'm not sure why you think I am suggesting that I'm the voice of the average.
You know you froze on the screen. You frozen.
Yeah, I can change that very quickly. While I'm talking, I will. I don't know why he seems to believe that I am suggesting that I'm the voice of the average Kemetic citizen. Is that something that you've heard me say? I am the voice of the average Kemetic citizen. What? Oh my goodness. It's a good thing that I'm not older, because you would have had me looking for the depends. I would have lost my bowels listening to you say that. That is crazy. Who in the world, what priest, what imam, what spiritual leader says, I am the voice for the ancient people? Nobody says that.
No, be quiet. You already spoke.
We're talking about a debate around an intellectual topic. That's it. And by the way, you're also saying that I said I'm a Reconstructionist. I did say I'm a Reconstructionist. We're all trying to reconstruct ancient traditions. Everyone. And believe it or not, Christians are trying to reconstruct. Muslims are trying to reconstruct. These modern traditions don't exist exactly the same way they did in the past. I mean, I've always asked Christians and Hebrews this. I'm assuming that you are that you have a relationship, probably with a sister. When was the last time you went to the priest to offer a turtle dove for her menses? Nobody does that anymore. Nobody does that anymore. Because we're all reconstructing things. We're all trying to reconstruct things, brother. All of us. And when we talk about these things, I want to be clear. I showed you what the scholars say. I showed you what the ancients say. I mean, listen, if you are suggesting, and by the way, I have to say this. I have statues in my home too. I have statues. There's got to be, and anywhere that I lay my head, I've got to have at least 10 to 12 statues. But that doesn't mean that I believe that the statue is the divine force, or that the description of that energy is literal. I'm telling you how the ancient Kemetic people practiced based on their writings, based on their tradition. And I'm telling you also that modern people are trying to replicate what happened in the ancient world as best we can. Do we get everything right? Probably not. We're still working. We're still a work in progress. But guess what? Neither do Christians, Muslims, nobody, Hebrews, none of them. Everyone is trying to reconstruct something. Everybody. So I don't know why you would even argue that I'm trying to say I'm the word of something. Just look at what the sources say.
The voice.
Yeah, I'm the voice of the ancient people? Who would make that argument?
He said you're not the voice of the ancient people.
Guess what? You're right. Thank you. You're right. I'm not suggesting I'm their voice. I'm saying I can read what they wrote. I'm saying I can follow what their practice was. By the way, in those temples, when the temple opened, the priest, the highest priest, would clean the statues. They'd feed the statues. But guess what else we have records of? At the end of the day, they ate the food. We're very clear. They didn't just leave the food there and say, oh my goodness, it's not eating. They ate the food. It's symbolism, brother. It's symbolism. If you have to take your food and provide it as an offering.
They gave the offering of food. Was it something not to be made literal?
Wait a minute. You can't hear me and I can't hear you. Let me finish and then I'll listen to you. When they gave the offering and they allowed it to be there and then they ate it, they recognized that this was symbolic. By the way, when they buried people and they said this person's an Asar, you know, sometimes those tombs were reopened in antiquity and they had to move the bodies. They didn't say, oh my goodness, why didn't the body leave? It's all symbolism, brother. And the reason why I'm having this challenge.
Are you saying that are you saying that they fed something that was symbolic?
Yes. Yes. Because then they ate the food, brother.
Go ahead.
They ate the food, brother. They ate it. Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because part of the thing is, if you have to do something very difficult and have the discipline not to just eat it yourself, in some ways what you are doing is you are assuring that this thing is important, that what this thing represents is important. Because then they ate the food, brother. We have records of the priest eating the food afterwards. So that clearly this was symbolic. And he's making it sound like because there's a statue that they must believe it is real. I hate when people use the word real. And I keep saying to them, I live in New York. There is a gigantic statue of a lady holding a torch in the river. And millions of people go to see it every year. No one expects that she's going to say, I'm tired of standing here, and get up and stomp on some people. It's a symbol for liberty. Symbols are important. They're important. It is the European that told the African that all of this is literal. That's what happened. And if you would study the tradition of Christianity in its ancient time, you're going to see there was a battle around it, and a group won. The group won where they became the Roman Church. So these people often will say something negative.
Jabari, can I respond right quick when you're done?
People, yes, up to sa.neter. But let me say this very quickly, and I'm going to end. Many of the people that are arguing will say negative things about Roman Catholicism, but then they'll do exactly what Roman Catholics told them to do. This is so bizarre. This is so bizarre.
All right,
Anyway.
Jabari,
Yes.
you got to understand what's happening here, brother. And I know you do. What's happening here, Jabari, is that Omar is an Israelite. All of these dudes who are Muslims and Israelites, and they got to go with the literal stuff because it'll crush their faith. It'll crush their belief. See, so Omar believes that Jesus existed, that Jesus walked to the grave and he shook up the grave in the ground, and men and women started jumping out of the graves and running around through the communities causing havoc, like it says in the Bible. He thinks that this really happened. So these are nuts that we are dealing with. Look at the these are goddamn nuts.
Hold on.
These are nuts. These are goddamn nuts that we are dealing with, Jabari. You got to understand that. So he got to make it literal.
You know the reason why I wouldn't call him a nut?
Make it literal.
Sa.neter, I understand what you're saying. It is nutty, but the reason why I don't want to call him a nut is because the reality is that we have to get to the point where they understand where those ideas came from. If they understood where they came from, they would say, oh my goodness, I have been deceived. And they would be angry. But they refuse. Wait, listen, sa.neter, they refuse to study history. This came from someplace. If they knew, they would be angry.
But Jabari, they're not trying to find out the truth. They're not trying to find out history because it would shatter their whole foundation.
Yeah.
They believe. So they got to dismiss anything that's dealing with that. This is why they make up stuff in the Bible. They believe in this nonsense that they talk about in the Bible, brother. The Bible is only 2,000 years old. How long we been on the planet, Jabari?
Oh my goodness. 300,000 years?
So what was we doing 2,500 years ago? What was we studying before that?
That was my same Kimmy question, sa.neter, remember?
Crazy. Yes, I remember. You know, so Omar really believed that Jesus shook up the ground and men started running around, waking up out the grave like the living dead. He believed Jesus really walked on water. He believes that the sky is going to crack open, and check this out, Jabari, chariots and horses going to come from the sky to save us, Jabari. This is in their Bible. This is in their book, and he believes that. Ask him. Literally. He believed horses going to come from the sky. Do this nut know that we drive cars now? That we don't need chariots and all that. We drive cars.
In a chariot? If Jesus came in a chariot, he would get hit by a 747.
Right.
And they go, what you doing in a chariot? We got better vehicles than that now.
Yo, you know what?
Well, the reality is it's symbolism. It's symbolism.
You know, I interviewed JJ years ago, right? On the hot seat. JJ said Yahweh, the Most High God, got in a spaceship, came down to pick up Elijah, and drove him back out into space. Bro.
I remember that.
I still got the video. I got the footage. You know, I got my stuff in my hard drive.
I remember that.
And they really believe that. So, hey, let me let Bill go before I go.
Let me say this. That's also what Pastor Bennett said. If you listen to our conversation, and I said, it's not just the symbols, Pastor Bennett. I'm talking about the story of Asar. He said, you know, I wouldn't say that as a Christian, right? That's why it's hard for people to understand. Pastor Bennett is an intelligent man, but I want him to understand this came from somewhere. For those of you who are Christians or Hebrew Israelites, research the docetics. Now, I know when I said it, y'all are not going to listen to me because I'm a Kemetic priest. Research the docetics. If you are honest, research them and find out what they believed about Christianity in the Christian tradition and what happened to them.
All right. So, Jabari, first of all, pleasure to talk to you, brother. I've been watching for a long time. You too, sir. Dude, I've been watching for weeks and weeks. I pretty much saw every one of those gaslighting videos that Reggie put up, and they were hating so tough. You had every right to go at him whatever way you wanted to go at him, from what I heard. So all of the stuff about you jabbing on them, and you're supposed to hit them harder, okay? Based on what I heard. So that's my take on it. Second off, you won the debate, man. I went on the show yesterday, the after show went on. I just told everybody, it was like 6 guys, man. Every last one of them was running and gunning for you, man. I was like, come on, this is crazy. He won the debate 3-0. You know what I'm saying? And they still just couldn't believe it. So we were not gaslit. We understand, Jabari. Message was received, brother. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dwa. By the way, enduring motifs. Are you sure you want to say that about Richard Wilkinson and Tamara Suida? By the way, I've met Tamara Suida. She runs a whole different type of shrine. I want you to show us a source. Enduring Motifs, show us a source. I have read everything that I like Richard Wilkinson. I've read everything the man has ever put pen to paper on. Is that what you think he believes? Or you want me to show you a source otherwise? You actually put $20 to it. Thank you for supporting the platform, by the way. But you put $20 to it. Are you sure that's what he believes? Okay. sa.neter, go ahead. sa.neter?
Yeah, I'm here. Let me see. Let me get the 7. Go ahead, 7.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you a question because Immortal Dragon brought up some great questions to you. I always like engaging with that brother, even though we do disagree sometimes. But
right,
because one of the things that I keep telling people time and time again that what the ancient Kemetic people were practicing were what it's all encompassing is in concepts. What you're breaking down is the concepts of the culture of these people. And it's just like when Dr. Raketi Amin when you explained how she was speaking about the netchers and the netcher rule, and you explained the different definitions that the netcher have. I had to tell somebody yesterday, if you're saying that Dr. Raketi Amin is saying everything is a netcher, including a man, why do they have why do they I can't even say the word. Why do they superimpose the deities on human beings? Those three people that you named. So that's a concept on top of another concept. Because if he's already a netcher, like you're saying, now they have to have a ritual or something to make them literal netchers. Netcheroos, right? So you showed the difference. So can you explain the determinative of give us a little bit more on the determinatives that they use to show the literal versus non-literal?
Well, there are several things that the Kemetic language does, right? When you're actually thinking, when they're trying to say, we mean this is what it is, usually after the symbol, there's one stroke. That usually means this is what it is, right? Because the symbol can mean several things. This is what it is. When you see the sun, and they're not talking about Ra, sometimes they might mean the day. It's a stroke, right? Now, when they're talking about something very often that is abstract, you're going to see a papyrus determinative next to it, a scroll that is tied. That's when they're saying this is figurative, right? Those aren't the only ways they depict it, but often, I want you to, sometimes people say they had no concept of that. That's not actually true. If you study the language, you'll recognize that there are times that they're trying to say, look, I know what you just read, but we're not meaning this exactly. Or, I know what you just read, we mean this exactly. And so they don't do it 100% of the time, but it is often the way that the language occurs.
All right, real quick, Jabari, read the screen. Read the screen.
Yeah, I referred to this one.
Yeah, read the screen.
I referred to this person.
I know. Read the screen, though.
The screen says, come on, bro. Ancient Egyptians viewed these deities as literal divine beings. Richard H. Wilkinson, George Hart, Tamara Suida, all books in the Egyptian version, complete with glossaries. This is their specialty. That's what they said. And now, I said, I responded to this to enduring motifs.
Yeah. But I would say too,
by the way,
I would say endurance to you, my brother, is that was not the topic. If the Egyptians viewed these deities as literal, why do people keep on messing it up? The people viewed them. All right, let me go to Philip Baines. Shout out to Philip. Philip, was you in the building?
Wait. Before you shift, sa.neter, I got to do this. I'm sorry. I don't want to. It's kind of sad that I'm doing it. But this is just a really quick swipe at enduring motifs. You should know that Richard Wilkinson wrote a book called Symbolism and Myth in Ancient Egypt. This is not a guy that says, oh, these things are all literal. I want you to look at this. I just pulled this really quickly. If I was going to do this even more potently, I would give you some more citations. But look at this. This is on page, I've read this book several times, but it's a really good book. Page 12. Symbols in Egyptian art may also exhibit different meanings in different contexts in the same period of time. The feather, for example, may be found either as a symbol of the god air or the air god Shu, or the goddess Ma'at, and the concepts of truth, order, justice. In funerary contexts, however, feathers may be symbolic of wings or of certain protective goddesses. I want you to understand that all of these are symbols. Go further down when he talks about Geb. Here, the plumes are related to the earth god Geb, who is often symbolized by a goose. Guys, I did this in 15 seconds.
Damn.
Richard Wilkinson wrote a book about understanding the symbols.
Right.
See, they
Why
just
would you put that there?
They don't know, Si. They just don't
know. Jabari, read. Yeah, you were sharing. No,
okay,
you
it didn't come up, Si. I didn't see
I didn't share it?
No, you didn't share it.
No, we didn't see it. We didn't see it.
We didn't see none of that.
I'm sorry, I didn't click the last button. Can you hit it real quick? Real quick. sa.neter. I promise I won't be long. This is page 12 of Symbolism and Myth in Ancient Egypt and Magic in Egyptian art. This is by Richard Wilkinson. This is the person you mentioned, right? I could do this with any of the people you mentioned, by the way, right? Look here. He's talking about symbols in Egyptian art. He talks about the feather. And even here, he even says, a passage from the pyramid text indicates, wherewith the king can be made to fly up to heaven, you shall fly up and alight on the account of the plumes of your father Geb. Here, the plumes are related to the earth god Geb, who is often symbolized by a goose. Other passages from the same text, associate or identify the deceased with a hawk. Now there's an association. I mean, I don't even know what the king soars as a divine falcon. Listen, what are you saying here? He doesn't agree with you. Do you realize I've read the people you're talking about? Or did you just Google them and say, I wonder if Jabari knows this? Tamara Suida won't agree with you. Someone that I've spoken to on several occasions.
All right, Jabari, read the next one. Read the next one.
Brother Jabari, is there anything literal in the symbolisms? While the symbol, a dog's head may not be literal, do they symbolize anything literal? I want to say to you that if you see a dog's head, you could say, well, they're actually dogs, but the symbol, the story and the symbol is not about a dog. It's not about a dog. So yes, when you look at Ra, you could say, oh, they're symbolizing the sun, right? They're talking, I would say that they're talking about the energy of the sun. Because the Kemetic people could see the sun. Why did they go to the trouble to create a falcon with the sun on his head? Why would they do that?
All right, let me get here right quick. Hey, Pastor Bennett, man, I'm sorry, brother. And you know I would love to bring you up, but you come in at the wrong time, and I'm getting ready to break out, Pastor Bennett.
Yeah, but y'all letting Seven talk all that Christian stuff. Y'all letting Seven, and you know how I am. I'm a little bit different.
Hey, Pastor
I don't
Bennett.
care about no comments. I don't care about y'all saying. When y'all start saying foolish stuff, it's time to y'all just getting away. And sa.neter, you said this is the toughest environment to be in. Jabari is cold. Jabari is an intellect. Jabari's smart. Ain't nobody hate on Jabari. Some people thought he lost. Many people thought he won. You capping right now, Seven. You capping. I ain't never tried to make Jabari a Christian. Oh, I think he should be one. Y'all acting scary, and y'all making Jabari look like something he ain't. Jabari ain't.
I will say one thing.
Give me 10 more seconds, sir. Give me 10 more seconds.
Hold on, Pastor Bennett. You can make an appointment, brother. Tomorrow can be your day if you want to get it in tomorrow.
Just give me 10 more
I'll be
seconds.
there.
Will you get it in tomorrow? Do you want to come up? What time is you free?
I don't know, but let me say this, sir.
On,
Jabari step up to every challenge. I ain't seen Jabari run from nothing. So he ain't soft. Y'all got to stop treating this man like he's soft. People say he won. People say, well, he know how to handle himself. Now wait, y'all tripping. If I had Jabari put a heart on the screen right now, a heart, right? And I said, what does this symbolize? Y'all could say something that's in your chest, or you know what else you could say? Love. You could say that heart is a symbol of love. But here's what I would ask you. Yes, the heart is a symbol of love. But then I would ask you, is love literal? And the answer is yes. But love is not physical.
No, love is not literal, brother.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It is. Oh, my gosh. Love is literal. Therefore, it can be expressed through physical. It can be expressed through not literal,
You keep using
love
words like
is literal. Jabari, don't let you get away with that. Jabari,
you keep using words like express.
Jabari will tell you it's literal. Hold on. Everybody be quiet. Jabari, you got the floor. Is love literal, Jabari?
No. What? You think that literal means real. That's what you're doing.
No.
Real are not synonyms.
No, Jabari, you asked me earlier.
Literal, but it is not literal.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, then we about to have a talk. Absolutely, Si.
Yes. Let's do it.
That's crazy.
Let's do it.
That's crazy.
Will you be here tomorrow? What time, Pastor?
It's just like, hold on, Jabari, are numbers literal?
No, numbers are symbols of something.
No, are numbers literal? Yes or no?
No.
So
no,
now,
a number is a symbol for something.
Y'all about to. Ooh.
So wait, I have one table. This is our way to symbolize the process of there only being this thing. It's a symbol, brother.
Yeah, about to.
A number is not literal. A number is a symbol.
Right. Correct.
Brother, do you know how long it took for them to devise the number zero? If numbers are literal, show me zero. Zero is a symbol.
No,
Bennett, Pastor Bennett.
Oh
my gosh, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it.
Pastor Bennett, when can you come through? Give me a time, brother. I'm still waiting.
I'm gonna look at my schedule. I'm gonna call Jabari today and see when we can work out a time.
All right, tomorrow. All right.
Now, let me say this one thing to you, Pastor Bennett. Let me say this one thing to you, Pastor Bennett. Be careful trying to actually shoehorn the Kemetic tradition into the Christian tradition. When we finished our conversation, the last thing you said, when I said it's not just the symbol of Heru, it's even the story of Heru. You said, you know, we wouldn't say that as Christians. I know you wouldn't say that as Christians. I think that's the problem.
All right, all right.
Hold on, wait, hold on, sir.
I got an appointment, man. Y'all don't understand. So I'm only doing this because the brother was present. He was there. So I'm letting them get the last word in. Rebel Rasta, do you have a question, brother? Because you was in the building.
Not question really, but it was one of the best. I would say argument debate I've been in. I'm at work right now, so I'm going to try to keep it very short.
Okay.
But I think when Reggie was showing some underhand blows, and when Jabari showed the trap, you know what I mean, with that lunch money, that got Reggie very, very excited, infuriated, frustrated, like a lot of emotions went through. And that was very funny to me. But at the same time, I see that Enfadiji was saying they're literal, but still saying at the same time they were representations. And that kind of tricked the audience into, Enfadiji saying it's literal. But at the same time, Enfadiji is still saying they are representation of the netters. So I think Jabari won the situation just to the fact that even Reggie was saying at certain point, and Jabari find it like strange when he was saying they were representation. So even at the point, Reggie was proving Jabari point. And even when Jabari put the 3 physical netters, Imhotep and the 2 others, he was showing that even there is a probability that they are natural and literal. But out of 1,500, there's only 3. And that is a probability right there. And the probability was much smaller than the ones that were not literal. So I was sitting by Reggie, and Reggie was in my ear all the time. You know, how did it sound? How was your Nep doing? And I'm like, man, listen, you're rolling on ice, Reggie. It's a thin ice because you're really proving what Jabari's saying. And good job, Jabari. Thank you, House of Consciousness. Even when I'm on the job, man, House of Consciousness keep me busy, even when I'm busy on the job. So give thanks, sa.neter. It was a pleasure taking picture with you, Napar, and I meet the one, brother-in-law, Reggie, and the champion, House of Consciousness. So big up for that, and I'll be back every time.
All right. Now, you know what was the funniest part, Rebel Rasta? When Jabari first showed the trap, right? When he first showed the trap. Who is that, man? That's when Jabari first showed the trap, Reggie didn't see the joint until like 20 minutes later. He gets, oh, Jabari did that. He did this. He showed this.
Yeah, he was upset.
Yeah, because everybody started laughing. He didn't see the joint until.
And I didn't respect the fact Reggie walked out on Jabari thinking that Jabari was not saying nothing of essence, you know. And that's not good decorum as a professional, you know what I mean? But I love Jabari, man. I love Reggie, and I respect 2 of them. Good information, good display, and as I tell you, sir, I want to come the next one. So get that next one on the floor going. So, you know what I mean? We should do 3 times a year.
All right. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Hey, Jabari, I got to go, man. I'm late, man. Damn, I'm late.
Oh, man.
Jabari, check your back chat, please.
Y'all always do this to me. Hey, Pastor Bennett, hit me up, man. If you don't hit me up, I'm going to go live and let the people know you're scared, brother. You got chicken feet.
Yeah, I want to be there.
Yeah,
I want to make sure I'll be there.
I'll
And
see you tomorrow.
get information too. I definitely want to get in contact.
Hello? I'll see you tomorrow, Pastor Bennett.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.